Good flipping evening, everybody. How y'all doing? Late night color commentary on Thursday night is back. It's been a long time. We've got a whole bunch of news that just dropped today and later this evening. Kind of odd that it drops in the evening. We got the Panthers taking care of business right now, 4-1. Y'all, how y'all doing tonight? Glad you're all rolling in. We got a whole bunch of people already in chat. 47 of you watching. All right, keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. We're going to get to the news. We got our guys in back to talk about what's happening. We're going to bring them up in just a second. But y'all need to hit the like button. You need to share this out. And you need to watch these promos real quick.
New seasons, new gear. Show the world what it means to be a fan in 100% authentic gear. Fanatics. Officially licensed everything.
Get ready to dive into a new world of online shopping with the Fins Tailgate. Whether you're a die-hard sports fan or just looking for the latest fashion trends, we've got you covered. With a wide variety of products from your favorite sports teams to stylish accessories and home decor, we're your one-stop shop for all things tailgate. Our easy-to-use website and hassle-free checkout process make shopping with us a breeze. Plus, with frequent sales and discounts, you won't want to shop anywhere else. So come on in and join the party at the Fins Tailgate, your new go-to destination for all things tailgate.
Again, that is TFTGnetwork.com. hit the shopping link. Go check out all our great stuff. You can find great things there, like this cooking folk apron. That way you can know what it's like to be like Lewis. Charring everybody everywhere, cooking folk everywhere. That's just an example. You can get yourself a color commentary coffee mug, which is guaranteed to make your coffee taste better, allegedly. And of course, we got a whole bunch of people coming in chat. The first one was Tonk. Say hi to Tonk. He'll be back next Tuesday or Wednesday for another TMI episode. Had some real life to take care of. Appreciate you coming in. Say hi, Tonk, and followed by Joe Rist, a man who I have met personally at Hard Rock. How you doing, Joe? Mountie, Hooked Up Joe, Duke, Raphael, Courtright, who you can find on Shake's most recent episode of In the Blender over on Larry K's channel. Check that out. Cosa Nostra, how you doing? Cat for Life, always bringing the business. And of course, the queen of Dolphins community, FinSanity 5. How you doing? She is in the house. Everybody say hi to FinSanity. And of course, Shake Money, who has also joined us in back. We'll bring them up in just a sec. Joe Levesque, how you doing? Nene, Rockfin, Amicus. How's it going, Nene? I actually saw Nene congratulate Christopher Aloysius the Greer, the third, the fifth, the seventh. Travalis, how you doing? Tinker. And of course, resident Buffalo fan, Michael K. Marino's Goat, how you doing? And that wraps it up for everybody that's currently in chat. We got 72 watching. Make sure you get over to YouTube if you're not over here and subscribe to our channel. We're over 6,000 strong, which, dang, man. I remember when there was nobody here. I remember before we even hit 1,000. Put a thumbs up in the chat if you remember being here before we had 1,000 of you watching, of you following us. Andres Negron, one of the guys that makes that happen, always sharing us out, telling people about the Fins Tailgate. We appreciate it. And of course, if you haven't heard the news, Trevor Lawrence signs a deal, according to Ian Rappaport, with the Jaguars. Looks like they're giving the former number one pick a 5-year extension worth $275 million. That's $55 million a year, with $200 million in guarantees. That would be, $200 million guaranteed and $142 million fully guaranteed. So we're going to have the guys break down the details of that to tell you why it's not as crazy as it sounds. Of course, before everybody decides, oh my gosh, that's a huge bag. And yeah, not really. So we'll have the guys discuss that. And of course, I got more of the details on Calais Campbell. As you know, according to Ian Rappaport also, it's a homecoming. Longtime Pro Bowl defensive end Calais Campbell, one of the biggest name free agents available, is expected to sign with our Miami Dolphins per Ian Rappaport himself and Tom Pelissero back at home for the U Superstar. So that means we're going to have 2 Miami Hurricanes going after Josh Allen potentially this year if we can get number 15 back on the field and healthy. Wow. And I'm going to tell you why that's such a great deal, because and maybe I'll start bringing the guys up, but while I tell you why it's such a great deal. Capitan, how's it going, man?
What
First
up?
of all, before I get into the details as to why Calais Campbell is a great deal, plus where he's at in his career, what he's put down, what we could expect from him, we'll get to that in a minute. But what do you think about this Trevor deal, man? It's not as crazy as it sounds.
So, peeling back layers. First of all, I'm still waiting on that Tua deal that we heard back in May about, at least the asking price and stuff like that. 142 million guaranteed. It's crazy cheap. That's what his guarantees came out to, correct? Am I having this right? It's a 5-year extension.
It says 200 million guaranteed, 142 fully. Whatever that means. I know that means there's some incentives involved, but I guess that means the third or fourth year out plus incentives that he has to get.
Here's the thing, right? Guaranteed. Here's the thing that I'm wondering. And I don't know, so I gotta wait for the full details to come out because it's a 5-year extension, right? And it's 200 million, quote unquote, guaranteed. Let me put my camera on. Shout out to everybody in chat. Hit the like button, please. Get the likes up, guys. Anyhow, 200 million guarantees. Now I'm wondering, it's a 5-year extension. They also had his 5th-year option. Is that 5th-year option's guarantees picked up and then 5 years on top of that, or is it with the 5th-year option and maybe that's that can't be the remainder because it's like $58 million. There's no way his 5th-year option was $58 million, so that ain't it. I just need to see more of the details, but 200 million guaranteed for 5 more years.
I mean, that puts it at 40.
What right? Well, it wouldn't be a 5th-year option of 58 million. So,
right.
I mean, it'd probably be somewhere around, a little bit more in Tua's, maybe 24 million, right? That would be the 5th-year option year, single year of pay. So I'm guessing that's what it is. I don't have the numbers exactly for what that would be, but I mean, look, it's a 5-year extension. Let's assume that means his 5th year, this being his 4th year, so it would be 5 additional years. This is going to get him through, the 2028 season and onto the 2029 season under contract, 200 million guaranteed. Over 5 years, that's not that much, Culler. It's not that much. It's under market. It's less in a per year capita per year than what Jared Goff just got.
Right. Oh yeah.
It's
and if the difference between 142 and 200 million is, injury incentives, then I'm fine with that.
Well, I don't know. That could mean that's money that, again, Culler, you kind of said it right. Like maybe that's the money. I don't know what does fully guaranteed and guaranteed mean. Again, this is a newer.
No matter what the hell happens, he's getting that money.
But wouldn't they? Again, this is the new tactic in the NFL to maneuver these contracts lately, and I've been seeing it this last year. There's a fully guaranteed amount, and then there's a guaranteed amount on initial offers. I got to see what that means over time. But let's
see if Ali happens to have any info on that.
Good evening, gentlemen.
What's up, Ali?
Ali is currently up in New Jersey right now.
I'm on the boardwalk. This is live on the boardwalk. Color commentary late night. It's one hell of a night, let me tell you. So let me tell you what this means, LCAT, because I've been looking into this too.
Thank you, Ali.
Fully guaranteed is no matter what, he's getting 140, what is it, 145 million? 142 million? 142 million. He's getting that no matter what. No matter what happens, he plays tomorrow, he doesn't play tomorrow, he's getting that, right? What the 200 million guarantee is, if he hits a certain incentives, meets all of his requirements, does all the workouts, all the OTAs, all the exercise, weightlifting,
hits all the guaranteed dollar incentives per year, and that's over a 5-year span. That's incredible to know because that changes a lot of things.
All of that is all included in that. So here is
real quick, Ali.
Does that include Does that include playing a certain number of games? so
No,
that
I
it
wouldn't.
protects
I
them
wouldn't
from
think so,
injury?
Culler. I wouldn't think so.
It may, but I don't think they really have that kind of concern for him, to be honest. But
I think. Oh, hold on, Ali. If I may, right? I wonder, like with Aaron Rodgers, because he hasn't showed up to mandatory camp, right? I wonder if he had a guarantee amount and then a fully guaranteed amount where now he's losing some
That's
of that
likely.
money. You know what I'm saying? That's
Well,
probably that's.
Capitan, remember how he got there and they immediately restructured the contract?
Oh, it was
after he did
immediate.
it?
It
Well,
was
maybe
immediate.
that took away those incentives, and that's probably why he decided not to show up.
And he's probably looking at everyone else like, man, I'm in this shithole, New Jersey, New York, whatever it's called, gangrene that I don't want. And everybody else is getting paid around me, and they're not as good as me. That's probably what he's thinking.
They knew his gravitas would stop them from fining him. You know what I mean? So he's like, F it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he said, fuck it. So here's my thought process on this, and this is my big take for tonight. If I will.
I was trying to go a whole show without the F. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, it's okay. It's all good. I'm sorry about that. I'll make it up to you, Culler, someday.
No, it's okay. It's after 10, bro. It's cool.
I thought this was the late night show. Come on. So here's my big take. Here's my big take on this. So coming from the Jaguars, knowing the fact that they tend to overpay players because of the small market that they live in, right? Being Duval County, and who the hell really wants to live in Duval County? No offense to, friends of the family like Roach and other people. No offense to them. But the reality for me is that they overpaid. Who was it? Christian Kirk. They actually printed dollars on a tree straight from a printer and handed it to him when they had hardly any money at all, which I don't know how they did, right? The reality is that Trevor Lawrence wasn't willing to bet on himself and took the deal where Tua is betting on himself. So my opinion is he knows he's not as good, and he's scared because he knows if he didn't take the money now, it's not going to look like the money was going to be there. So that's just my opinion.
So what do you think about that, Crypto? What Ali was just saying, or do you have any other thoughts on the Trevor Lawrence deal?
No, I don't think so much he wasn't willing to bet on himself because he's outside of this year's versus injuries. He never really been injured. So I'm almost certain he is betting. This is how I look at it. He is betting on himself. The fact that if he plays a full 5 years, given that his history of not being injured, he'll bag the entire $275 million. So I would think he's betting on himself because he'll get all of that and capture all of that.
There's a couple things, though. There's a couple things here, Vet. All right. So you look at it on average, what's fully guaranteed, right? $36 million a year, bro. I'm sorry, that is not betting on yourself. He took the cheap deal. Freaking, what's his name got more than that?
He's not being guaranteed for the full 5 years. I think everybody's looking at it wrong. Whatever his out year is, whatever the Jaguars out years, you have to cut it out at that and divide that by his guaranteed number.
Right.
That's what they're giving. Let's say if his out is 3 years, you have to divide 3 years by that 172.
Right.
142.
That's the difference between the 275 and the 200. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. So
right. I'm thinking that right.
The 200 to the 142 is the incentives.
Right. Because it's 275 total. Take that from 142. That's like 130 left. That's pretty much incentivized for the remaining 2 years. So that's what's really they're going to be renegotiating.
The contract, I guess.
So truly, I'm thinking the contract. If the out year is 3.5 years, you have to divide that total guarantee number by that number because they can get out at that point.
Right.
And that's all they owe him. So truly, that's his true number.
One
per year
basis. With you on Crypto is that if you're coming from the perspective of betting on yourself in the respect that he knows for sure that he's going to fulfill those incentives, then yeah, he's betting on himself to do that.
Right,
That
because
I
he's
agree
never
with.
really been
But
injured.
here's the thing, though. If he knows for sure that he's going to go ahead and get those incentives, why wouldn't you bet on yourself?
Of
Why
course,
wouldn't you say, no, I want more?
and that
Right,
depends
because
on what the
275 is a
incentives
large
are and how
number.
easy they are to attain. But I want to get Shake's opinion in shaking here on this too. If you got anything on the Trevor thing to Shake to give us, man. How you doing tonight?
Yeah, that's all I was gonna say. 'Cause I think everybody's getting the number wrong when it comes to what's the truly per year basis based on guarantee. Because I think
Right.
what we have to go by the out year. Wherever the out year starts, that's when the number you
Right, and
take
that's likely
that time and
third
divide it
or
by his
fourth
year.
year.
That's why they're
Shake.
saying he's the highest paid.
It's likely at the end of year 3 and
Right.
at the beginning of year 4.
That's
Hey.
probably why they're saying he's the highest paid out of Burrow and all of them.
Go ahead. Well, he's not. That's just a fact. But go ahead, Shake.
I'm
Yeah,
talking about
great
his per
show,
year
by the way.
averages.
Yeah,
That's what they saying.
Marissa Marino, and on the first show tonight, he did double duty on the blender, and then he had Raphael Courtright in there too. Great stuff, Shake. What you got there? Oh wait, let me put you on.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Shake.
Your
Oh,
mic's
wow.
off, Shake. Nobody can hear you.
I'm here with my cup on my Culler mug.
It
It
off,
does make
he's
my coffee taste better. I could
Is
It
attest
that-
to
does. Look at that. It's not a fable. It is the truth.
Is that the is
Oh,
that the
man,
one
that's
that's
nice.
available now
If-
on the site? Because like
if it's Maxwell House, I would only buy it if it's Maxwell House.
Gross.
That's the last drop.
By the way, fun story. We don't sell coffee mugs anymore. I found that through HB.
We
not
don't.
at all.
No.
Oh man, I got to remedy this. Well, this is
man.
this is the problem.
That's
You know
cool.
what? This is what happens when we don't get the fan support we were hoping
I
for.
know.
With all the
Well, he
high
told me
expenses.
that the one that I had was not available. That's what he told me when I tried to order it. Because I broke mine, so I'm really in dire straits.
Yeah, if you want, I'll send you this one.
I was gonna say I might have to go to the flea market after Shake dies and find and get a hold of one.
It's a long time to wait for a coffee mug.
It'll be all stained
Damn.
with coffee on the inside. You know what I mean?
No, it won't, because Shake's putting liquor in it every now and again. I know it.
Right.
Look, see, yeah,
It's been naturally cleaned with
it's gonna be
carbon.
clean all the time. You gotta
Bailey's
get it
a
look
clean
brand
right
fucking
now.
new. Look brand new.
As a matter of fact, I need a hold on. I need a refill.
Need a refresher.
Oh, there we go.
Oh damn.
CB 41.5 ain't got nothing on Shake.
No, that's all just for show. Shake
I
living.
know, right? He can put all them liquor bottles behind him all he wants, man. Shake's
Yeah.
got the real deal.
Oh, Shake, what do you think of the Trevor Lawrence thing?
I think that wow, it took me off guard, but hey, I think it's gonna cement Tua's case as far as his contract is concerned. It's gonna make it tougher for the Miami Dolphins to give him what they want to give him. You know what I mean? At least that's what I think.
Okay.
And one thing I want to say is welcome Calais Campbell. You owe us one anyway because you knocked out Tannehill in the season-ending injury. So I think he owes us.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh yeah.
Remember he knocked out
He was
Tannehill.
the guy. He was the
That
guy,
brings
that's
us
right.
to Calais Campbell.
Well, I don't want to get off
Yes,
the
it
Trevor
does.
Lawrence thing
All right.
real quick.
Yeah,
I want
I still want to talk about this. Definitely.
Yeah,
Keep
me
going.
too, dude.
All right,
Me
all
too.
right. Well, I'd be a bad host if I didn't let the guests talk about what they really felt the need to talk about. So go right
Please.
ahead.
So, look,
Capitan, you
the
got
bottom line is it's $40 million a year. I know it seems like a massive number because
Right.
it's $275 million. Yes, and that on an annual salary base is $55 million. But the real money, the guaranteed money that we like to, put a lot of context on, it's $40 million a year. And that's lower than what I promise you it's lower than what Tua wants. I promise you that. And if we're going off of what we've been hearing, more of the ilks of what the Dolphins are offering or looking to offer being more like Jared Goff. Jared Goff got $43 million a year. His was only a 4-year deal, which had $170 million guaranteed. That's $30 million less than Trevor Lawrence, but Trevor Lawrence is only getting $30 million more than him for that extra year. So spread out in
there's more wrapped up in incentives for Trevor.
And really with this with this actual guaranteed money or guaranteed at signing money or whatever the hell they want to call it these days, there's probably an out at the end of that year where he's probably going to earn less than that. You know what I'm saying? Now that's going to leave open for extensions and things like that. But if they want to get off of him, that could really change the game. And we could be looking back at this contract and saying, wow, either a steal or how smart were they to put it in a way where they were only going to be handcuffed to him for a certain amount of time to move off of them. All of those things. And I guarantee you, here's the deal. The point I want to put at is this 142 with 200 million really, in guarantees, 147 or whatever it is in actual guarantees, and then 37 million up front in signing bonus because that's what he got. It's a weird language that's being put on contracts, and to me, it's probably what the Dolphins are offering, something like this, where Tua and his people are like, yo, you're saying it's 215, but I'm looking at it, it's only like 160. You know what I'm saying? If after 3 years my client goes down and he doesn't hit these games because of injury, that's where the minutia of contract negotiation, the NFL has pivoted to a new language technique. And I don't know who did it, who started it, how it's been going, but the Dolphins have been doing it for a little while. Look no further than here's the crazy thing. Dolphins can cut Tyreek Hill next year, and that $72 million in guaranteed monies will be all he makes. But right now it looks like he would make $90 million and then some with incentives. He has $120 million maybe. If he plays beyond next season, it'll be closer to like 80-90 million, but really they can be underneath the 72 million we were counting in actual guarantees by releasing him. It's this weird thing they're doing with these last 2 years with voidable years at contracts, and it's getting harder to dissect, and it's very interesting because that's the type of stuff NFL teams are doing now to not be stuck like Daniel Jones is, not be stuck like they are with the big money for Deshaun Watson and stuff like that. So it's a real interesting thing to see. So
it is definitely an interesting thing to see, El Cap, and that's why I bring the argument that if what Crypto is saying that he definitely knows that he's going to make all these incentives, and that's why he took the deal. Why did he, if he already knew that, he should have asked for more? And because of that, I think he was afraid to bet on himself. That's my argument with this. Everyone thinks that this is an amazing deal and everything. Yeah, it's amazing for the Jaguars because I honestly think they underpaid. No, I mean, if you want to compare, hold on. If everybody wants to hate on Trevor Lawrence, which I'm one of the biggest haters on him because I truly do hate the man, to be honest, and that's a strong word for me. But the reality is, if you look at the stats, yeah, he is under Tua in some of the categories, but you could argue it's because Tua's had one more year than he's had. I
don't know, Ali. I've looked at the stats, and Tua is, even with all the games Tua's missed, I mean, dude, he's got way better stats.
They are similar. Yes, he's leading in touchdowns. I give you that. But you could argue that's because of one more year. You know, you think everyone thinks that Trevor Lawrence and Tua
the only thing I can do in an analytic world is go outside of analytic and say it's a one more year of veteran with that type of production, because everything else, if we're counting year by year by year, it doesn't really line up. To be honest, you could say that.
They also, most of these contracts are two parts. It's based on them rewarding you for what you have done and what you could do going forward. Let's not forget that Trevor Lawrence led his team to a division title and a playoff win.
Agreed. I'm not saying Trevor Lawrence is a chump.
It was on track to do it again before he went down.
Before he went down, exactly.
So
most of it is a rewarding thing versus, them thinking what you can do in the future.
In crypto, this is where I agree with you, but that's even more ammunition, in my opinion. That's even more ammo to go ask for more money because hold on 1 second. You could argue that, all right, he Tua is definitely beating him in a lot of things, but if you really look at it, there's a lot of stats that they're very similar at. Plus, the guy actually has won a playoff game. You said it. You put the nail on the head right there, right?
Okay, but I have a question. So, do you think that when Trevor got injured last year, do you think it actually ended up hurting him by trying to play through it and diminishing his performance?
Yes, I think it did.
Or do you think he should have just went down on IR for the rest of the year?
Well, I will tell you. I'll tell you this, Culler.
I think it kind of hurt him trying to play through it.
I think you're both wrong, and everyone's wrong to say that it kind of hurt him. Could have kind of hurt his performance, but for his career, it just got Buddy paid. So who's it really hurt?
He just got paid. He could have put up better stats, which means they would have more money, though.
He proved to the Jaguars that he'll push through injury, bro. He proved to the Jaguars he'll push through injury, which is obviously worth a lot to them.
Well, in that sense, he's willing to play through tough injuries. Yeah,
it's obviously worth a lot through him. Listen, I'm not trying to decipher and stuff. I would say in the sample size of games played, which is a skewed number, I would say Trevor Lawrence came out of the gates way hotter than Tua did, and nobody's going to dispute that. Right? Mm-hmm. Nobody's going to dispute that. And I would say in year 1, year 2 versus year 1, year 2, Trevor Lawrence is head and shoulders above Tua. Now, year 3 and 4 versus year 4 and 5 Tua, the gap kind of squeezed a little closer together, right? Tua came in injured.
I'd agree with that.
But I will say this. Here's the question. Trevor Lawrence is going to play his 4th year, correct?
Yeah.
Look at Tua's last year, his 4th year. It was his best year. Trevor Lawrence is getting paid and heading into his 4th year, going to be healthier. Really, this question in a better sample size, because we have an odd number here, is really going to come to that moment. Because if, plays throughout the season, plays through whatever, and then we can take the data from year 5 Tua and have a better sample size of the years that we want to be a little more selective of. It's kind of like saying you take out your best and your worst and find everything in the middle. I forget the saying. I'm losing it right now, but that would be a better way. You take out your best year and your worst year, and that's how you really judge the statisticals. A guy goes off 1 year, but that's not how you can't lean on that every year. Guy has an off year.
That's an average.
It's an off year. He was injured. It's an off year. So if you do that, then we'll have a better sample size. I will say this, no matter how you want to slice it, I think it's a great deal for the Jaguars, but I think it's also a great deal for Trevor Lawrence because getting the money and getting it while you can and taking that money and playing, believing and betting on himself the way he has, in 3 years, he's going to be demanding more money,
Right,
that's
right.
it. And because he got this deal done before this year started, that he's actually kind of cut his timeline in half.
Right, because if he let's say if he lights it on fire, then he's either going to fulfill this contract and get that big money, or he's going to get a better deal.
That's it. That's pretty much it.
Let me ask you. Well, that's what I was about to ask you. Is you think that he took this deal because of the fact that it allows him to cut into a better deal later on? But here's the other part of it. Does this deal include his 5th-year option too, or no?
It doesn't look like it from so far. This looks like it absorbed the 5th-year option and put 4 more years, and they made a new 5-year extension.
Right.
Right, because he's doing it after his completion of his 3rd year.
Now that $36 million a year,
it's the same,
with the only guarantee money, starting to make more sense now. Now I know that.
It's the same situation as the Bengals and the Chargers did with their young quarterbacks. it's really, I mean, got to be real.
They got
right?
out ahead of it early.
Like if Tua's going to feel a kind
They
of
didn't
way,
wait
I
till the
kind of
fifth year
understand
to do it.
because Tua not only didn't get a contract after his third year, and rightfully so, he ended it with concussions. Not the way you want to go to the table. And imagine the money he would have only been taking at that point, which honestly is probably why he changed.
Brian Flores sabotaged him. That's what happened.
That was that's not true. His third year, he had Mike McDaniel, so that wouldn't have been the case. Anyhow,
he sabotaged him from Pittsburgh.
He sabotaged him by sending just mean thoughts through the air and it gave him a concussion.
Sending him mean tweets and stuff.
Yep, that's true. So we can't kind of blame it on that. But I will say this, right? If Tua would have taken money then, it wouldn't have been the money he wanted, ending that season on concussion, right? That's pretty.
Right.
So again, but Tua not only played his fourth season, but he is about to start year 5 with the 5th year already on the table. And the Dolphins seem to be trying to prorate that Trevor Lawrence style deal. And it seems to me that Tua Tagovailoa's team is wanting money early, right? But I don't blame him. Again, when I look at
the money, you think he's asking for 180 up front?
I think they're asking more than that, buddy.
Yeah, could be.
I think they want like the guaranteed ish money. I think they want probably 185, and then they want in guaranteed money 215. So the guaranteed at signing 185, the guaranteed total amount 215, and again 265 to 275 million in total monies. That's what they want.
So we're talking about a guy that has not accomplished as much as Goff, who just might have eclipsed Trevor Lawrence in people's eye test.
Mm-hmm.
Wanting more than both of them.
So hold up, Culler. I just want to point something out, right? Tua would only be making $500,000 a year more than Goff in that deal I just said.
So what did it average?
A total of $2.5 million more in guarantees than Goff. Goff is making $43 million a year. Goff is making $43 million a year, and Tua would make 43.5. It's like more than that, but 43.5
give him the goddamn money. What are we waiting for? Go ahead and give it to him. I'm sick and tired of playing this cat and mouse thing.
The Dolphins are coming in like.
Well, how come we just can't do a flat 3-year deal, fully guaranteed 129 million?
See, that's the question. Ali just asked the question. If all of this makes so much sense, why the hell ain't it done yet?
I mean, but that's me. Hold on.
Term guarantee study.
Wait.
That's why.
That segues to the next person that Ian Rappaport graciously told us that we signed today. Maybe they have a deal on the table. They just want to work out other deals before they actually put pen to paper.
No, our first round today too.
I'm saying 129.
No fucking way. Signing Calais Campbell or anything else isn't stopping that.
Hold on. I heard that about as soon as we sign our last rookie, as soon as this happens, as soon as that happens. I mean,
every excuse and reason why it's all bullshit.
I'm saying that too.
It ain't got nothing to do with
we were
nothing.
supposed to did this before the league new year started.
Then
just to get back underneath the cap.
And then there's only one thing that makes sense. The Dolphins are not in on Tua. They want to move off. That's the only thing that makes sense on why they haven't made the team.
Hold on, though. Unless
they don't do it September 1st.
Unless the bravado is getting the best of Tua's camp.
Again, it's one of two things, gentlemen.
Definitely
it's
bravado.
only one of two things.
I can agree with you.
It's either one, the Dolphins are offering in guaranteed dollars less than 40 million, and the fucking Tua's camp is offering for north of 45 million, somewhere around that a year in guarantees. That's all that's it.
He don't want anything close to what Baker Mayfield is making.
No, are you fucking kidding me? No, he wants what his contemporaries are getting. He wants mid
Isn't
40s.
Baker contemporary?
He wants
He
mid
just got a
40s.
deal.
And I feel like they're both dug their heels in for the time being. To me, it's only going to end right where I've been saying it for fucking 4 months now, at least. God, I think we even talked about it back in February. It's going to be where if I'm taking realisticness and what I heard that is a doable price, it's going to be that 215 million 5-year extension. That's what they want. Now, whether the Dolphins want to make that a 4-year extension and keep them at 43 million, or they're writing it up a way where, okay, yeah, we'll give you $250 million guaranteed, but fully guaranteed, you're getting whatever it is. I'll even hold on, just give me 2 seconds because I'm gonna get I'll get the exact.
Yeah, why y'all do that? We a minute left in the third quarter. Panthers are up 4-3.
Oh shit! They closed the gap.
Wow,
Shit,
that's crazy.
damn.
That's a lot of goals. That's high scoring.
Yeah, that's really high scoring. So here is the deal for me: is the fact that there were several people in the community that stated that there's no way Trevor Lawrence gets a deal before Tua. This Trevor Lawrence got a deal for Tua. The question is,
well, not us over here on the Finns tailgate, though, did we?
Life was saying that. Remember,
Love gonna get the deal before Tua. Because if Love gets the deal before Tua, then I'm not buying this bullshit. That I mean, I'm not saying it's bullshit because I do think you're right about it's just a matter of guarantees. I agree with you, but at this point, somebody got to be hitting Chris Greer over the head if Love gets the deal before him, because all that's doing is costing Greer $5 million, $10 million, $5 million, $10 million.
I could have seen Love over Lawrence right now, but here's the funny part: Cap for Life was running around all over the place. Everyone telling him to shut up and he's an idiot, and we were the only ones that entertained his theories.
Yeah,
hey, Cap for Life.
Shout out for Cap for Life. All I'm saying is that if Jordan Love gets the money before Tua, then I'm not
Cap
really
for Life
buying that the Dolphins are into Tua as much as what people want to think. That's the only thing, because at this point, why are you betting against yourself? Even if they do sign him, because here's the thing. You've waited so long just to pay him more. It doesn't make sense. Just make the deal now. Otherwise, it's just going to keep costing you more and more. I just don't get
real quick. The Florida Panthers game is a final 4-3 over the Oilers. I guess that means they took a 3-game lead in the series.
Yes, I'm calling a sweep. I am willing to bet a sweep happens now.
Yeah, both finals will be a sweep.
So just to go back to what I was talking about, I did the numbers, right? I did the numbers, and over a 5-year span, it would be just under $30 million for that $147 million guaranteed at signing. But I got to imagine that if we're putting it in the context that we're talking about with the out, and how I can look at what the Dolphins did with the guaranteed money and then fully guaranteed at signing with Tyreek Hill's contract. I'm just applying the same metrics, and it comes out to where if he made that in 4 years, he would get just north of 36 million. And that would mean that he got that, but they have the out with the dead cap carried, but he's only gotten right around 150. If Tua is asking for more than that, what did I put it at? I can't remember. Hold on a second. If the Dolphins are offering, say, 38, which is significantly more, that's 8 million more a year. That brings them up to the 157 guaranteed at signing bonus with a 205 or 215 million in guarantees, whatever they're offering. That's a significant amount more money in that guaranteed at signing type of thing. So I gotta wonder, where is that number, right? And if they're staying closer to Goff, it's significantly less. So what I'm saying is that if we're talking about what Tua's party is asking, are they asking for 180 like crypto says of the guaranteed at signing with 250? I mean, holy shit, Culler.
Well, let me just say that I heard from a source that I'm not going to reveal at the moment. I'm not the only one that heard it. But and this source has been pretty bullish on the idea that the deal is going to get done. And this source said the other day that, hey, there might be some trouble on the. We ain't out of the woods yet. Is basically what the guy was saying. Like
out of the woods as far as the
laying on the
amount of money
here might actually happen, man. Let's just be real here.
Right.
I know certain
That's
people
still an
don't want to
option.
hear that, just like people don't want to hear that the deal is going to get done and the market is the market and all that stuff. But I don't know. This source I heard from, he's usually pretty bullish on the deal getting done, and he's starting to waver. So I'm not saying he's saying it ain't going to happen. I'm saying that he's starting to waver a little.
Right.
So I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
there's
all
no
I'm
law
saying is that
forbidding the Dolphins from waiting. I mean, unless I missed something here. I don't know.
I don't know, bro.
Did Ron DeSantis sign anything in the law saying that the Dolphins can't wait, or I don't know what's going on in Florida?
Well, I'm pretty sure he did. I mean, we can pretty much blame him for anything anyway. But you know,
look, I don't mind if the Dolphins want to wait. If that's really what they want to do, fine, so be it. But I don't want to hear. I don't want us to be like dragging this in.
They got to stir up the peanut butter. You know what I mean?
So look at it like this, right? This is Jared Goff's contract. He got a 4-year extension, which is a listen to how they word this too. It says 3 years after acquiring him from the Rams, the Detroit Lions extend quarterback Jared Goff to a 4-year, $134 million extension that includes $170 million practically guaranteed, $113 million of which is guaranteed at signing, $53 million a year. Goff becomes the second highest average, they say. And so, see how they're wording this shit now? They have a potential out. So if we're looking at Jared Goff, he got guaranteed, his signing bonus was $73 million. So we got that up front the day he signed. They put extensions into his stuff where, let me see how they word it here.
It's going to be a lot of lawyerly type language in there.
So $113.6 million guaranteed at signing bonus plus 2024 salary plus 2025 salary plus $20 million of the 2026 salary. Remaining $35 million of the 2026 salary fully guarantees, $22 million of which is guaranteed in 2027, and $18 million is hold on, it says $22 million in 2027 salary guaranteed for injury at signing, $18 million in 2027 salary fully guarantees starts in March 2026. Additional $4 million of 2027 salary fully guarantees March 2027. 2028 roster bonus of $7 million. Full no trade clause. So you hear how they did that, how they maneuvered all this money in 2027 and 2028 to take that 170 in guarantees and only really truly guarantee through 2026 the amount of $113 million. They have figured something else out. These guarantees on these contracts aren't what they seem anymore. And the way these contracts are written up, no one sees the final year of that contract. They don't, and they're restructuring after 2026 or getting rid of you because the dead cap is crazy. It's crazy. This is, we're going to have to really look into these contracts. Now, he's not going anywhere for the 2026 season. So they're really after 2025 for they didn't give that 3 years like most contracts. They gave it only 2 because I'm looking at his cap hit. They're restructuring or figuring something out for 2020. They have to. This is why Goff signed a contract, because the money he has on the back end of the contract for cap hit, he's going to get another payday at the end of the 2025 season, because his cap hit this year is $27 million. His cap hit next year is $32.6 million. His cap hit in 2026 is $69.6 million. And in 2027, it's $54.6 million. And in 2028, if they keep him, and this is a year that they can potentially cut him and not see that money, and they'll only carry $14 million in dead cap, he's owed $61.6 million with a $7,000 roster bonus at that. So really, this is why Goff signed the contract when we're hearing about the money, because it is so much. Goff essentially signed a 2-year deal where he's going to get. Let's see. Let me see what happens if they get the dead cap. Oh, fuck. No, they can't get rid of him. Holy shit. They can't get that. Never mind. Goff took that 3rd year too, because they can't. He's going to be there through the 2026 season, because they can't get rid of him. If they cut him, they're still going to carry $63 million in dead cap. In 2026, that season heading into it or beyond it, it doesn't really matter. Goff is going to have the Lions' feet to the fire with the money that he has in dead that they'll have to carry in dead cap. And if they eat that $63 million, which I don't see how they could get rid of him and save themselves by only carrying $30 million in 2027 and then 14 more in 2028. So it's interesting how they're doing contracts now. Goff actually controls a lot for the next 3 years of his career there. So instead of him pushing it to an extension, they did a rework for 2024. So it's these 3 years. So, okay. So it's really kind of the same thing, but he's really got their feet to the fire, and he's going to force them back at the offering table before the 3rd year of this deal. There's just no way, dude. They're not going to let it $70 million go to one player. I don't know. Maybe that's not a lot of money come then. Who knows? Fuck. Interesting though, right?
Man, that puts them on the hook for a lot, man.
It does.
Well, I just don't. I know there has to be some kind of clauses going on that they're not agreeing on, having to do with injury. I just can't imagine us locking ourselves in like that for a guy that's only been through one season.
Yeah, so here's the thing, right? Hold on, let me look at it real quick. Wow.
Crypto get bumped out?
Yeah, I think he did. I got him.
All right. Sorry, Crypto.
So really, they say, remember I read that earlier, it says 170 million practically guaranteed. This is what they mean, because they're practically guaranteeing that 170 million, because over the first 4 years through the 2027 season with the guarantees and everything, that's when he's going to make that 170 million. And they're on the hook for all of it for the next 4 years. They're on the biggest payout of it in year 3. So he will get another deal. So the guarantee at signing, the 113 million, really covers the first 3 years and then some. If they were to bite the bullet and not rework his deal in 2026 and take that and cut him, right? They cut him, but they're still going to carry the dead cap of close to 30 million in 2027 season, but that'll even them out to 170 million roundabout of practical guarantees. That's nuts. I see how they did that. All right. I love cap fucking breaking down and contract breaking down and understanding all that, because they're always maneuvering these contracts in the language of it some new way, right? They're always doing that. And it's when you don't word it right, you end up like the Dolphins did with that and Ndamukong Suh and Rashad Jones contracts that we had where we were fucked.
Right.
Just like that Goff got with the Lions. They're fucked. They must really love him because he ain't going nowhere for the next 3 years, and they're gonna pay for him. They're gonna give him $170 million over the next 4, no matter what.
Right. And what happens if he tanks next year?
I mean, I don't see that, but I understand it, right? I understand the worry. So when I look at Trevor Lawrence's deal, they haven't broken it down yet, but if I apply the same knowledge that I have from this deal, it's going to look something probably eerily similar where Trevor Lawrence, he took a 5-year deal, but probably most of it's going to be pushed on those last 2 years. So this year, it's kind of going to be what it is. But next year, the year prior, getting him into the 2026 season. So 1, 2, 3, yeah. So after the 2026 season, they're gonna probably have a cap hit of $70 million or something like that.
I can't imagine how. Look, I mean, with all the,
if he worded it right, it might not be as such because they could have done it a little bit more better fiscally, and really he could be holding the bag or get caught holding the bag without a bag. I don't know how you want to take bag in this scenario, but they could probably have an out and spread the dead cap over where they'll only cut them, and then that 4th year, which would be the 3rd year of the extension, they could carry say $30 million in dead cap and only hit that 142 or 147 that he got in actual guarantees.
What I don't understand is how people get paid millions of dollars to make a judgment that Tua thus far in his career is worth tying yourself to like that, dude. I just don't understand it, man.
Well, if it's guaranteed, quote unquote, at signing and languaged the way I just read with the contract notes / stipulations for the signing bonuses and roster bonuses, because if you get cut, you lose these roster bonuses. You know what I'm saying? They're wording it in such a way.
Well, it baffles me, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's not. Again, Koza, I totally agree. Not just Tua, it's systemic in the league, and that's why I don't understand why we just follow right into what people would consider the quote unquote bad teams. I mean, Detroit, look, obviously Jared Goff is doing enough for them to believe in because they haven't done anything in 30, literally nothing. Like they don't even have winning seasons.
Here's pretty much in a layman's term how I can explain how they're doing contracts right now for how everyone's working, right?
Mm-hmm.
I sign a contract with a company to work with them. I am going to, no matter what, be here this year and 2 more years in which they can then get rid of me after those 2 more years. Mm. But I'm going to make 4 years worth of money. I'm going to make this minimum amount of money. If I stay here through year 4 and year 5, I'm going to get this amount of money. And if I hit the incentives, I can make bonuses of this amount of money.
And that I'm fine with. And that I'm fine with because that doesn't tie us down. You know what I mean? But if you're talking about
doing it, that's how they're doing it now. And they're doing it now this way because of Daniel Jones, because of Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray.
Well, and Koza points out the Cardinals, and you're right. The Cardinals just look, if I was a Cardinals fan, I would be in the same camp as I am as a Dolphins fan with Tua. Kyler better do it this year, man, or that whole thing is a failure. And the whole Kyler experiment with the Mighty Mouse quarterback can just go out, obsolete like the rest of the gimmicks the NFL has tried to pull. You know what I mean? Because he needs to put up or shut up at this point. So does Deshaun Watson, to be honest with you. Now, I understand that I'm going to go to bat for him when it comes to the game he got injured in, he ended up winning, and it was against a tough opponent, and he played injured. But still, come on, bro. You know what I mean? You're already what is he like? Already in the 4th year of that mega contract?
Well, here's the thing, right? Yes, he's heading. No, he's not, because he was on his 5th year extension.
Okay.
So really, this is the first year he's making his new money.
Oh, okay.
Even though he got money
still,
up front.
I thought they got lucky with him not playing so much because
no, he basically
already
quit on them
his contract and paying for the goods.
He
you know
basically
what I mean?
quit on them and gave them minimum effort until he starts making his money.
Right.
So
right.
here's his deal. He got a 5-year extension, $230.5 million with an average salary of $46.1 million. His guaranteed at signing was $103.3 million, and his total guarantees is $159.8 million. That is jack shit to quarterbacks these days. Anyhow,
Tyler, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong.
But at the time, that was like the mega money. You know what I mean?
Well, now their cap hit to start paying on that money is $49 million this year.
Right.
Next
and
year,
done
it's
absolutely
45.
nothing for them, bro.
Next year, it's 45, and then 2026, it's 55, and that 2027 looks like that's the year that they. Well, actually, here's the thing: they can get away from Kyler Murray after next season, because the dead cap after that is only $20 million that they'd carry. So they can't get rid of him in 2025 and they certainly can't get rid of him now because the money they've already given him back when they signed him to an extension after 2022, which is fucking stupid. Which is kind of what the teams are doing now, right? They're paying their quarterbacks a year before the 5th. They're paying them after the 3rd year, which is crazy to me. Anyhow, their dead cap and money that they've bit the bullet on is fucking outstanding, bro. Their dead cap that they're going to carry if they were to cut him this year would be $111 million.
Wow.
Next year it'll be 63, but in 2026 they can cut him and carry only 20 million in dead cap and save themselves north of 35 million.
Man.
So listen to this. Here's the contract notes. 103.3 million guaranteed at signing. That's signing bonus plus 2022 salary plus 2023 salary / option year, 5th year option, plus 35.3 million of the 24 salary. He gets 18 million in 2025 guaranteed after March in 2024, so that's already guaranteed. And it was also an injury settlement at signing. So because he got injured, has that fucking guaranteed anyhow. That's why he took the injury.
Mm-hmm.
In 2026, 22.8 million is fully guaranteed the 5th league day of the 2025 season. Injury at signing. So this again is an injury clause too. That if he doesn't hit that date, and they're out, they can cut him and not owe him that money. So he will. I guess he doesn't.
Did Matthew Stafford sign a new contract when he got traded?
Yes.
What was it? All brand. He was done all brand new. So how much was it guaranteed?
Oh fuck, dude! I'd have to pull all that up. But
I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. Like when a person gets traded and they get a brand new contract, I give them the full years of the guaranteed portion.
Here's the deal, though, Crypto.
I'll move off of them.
Here's the deal. He hit mega incentives that year too, all through the playoffs and winning a Super Bowl. Probably crushed.
Right. Had he not won the Super Bowl, let's say if his guarantee was just 3 years, I would have given him the full 3 years to put up and shut up.
Here's the
Whatever
deal.
they guarantee you in years.
Him winning the Super Bowl, and I'm going to guess
done.
this before I even look at his contract.
That's how I do it with guarantees.
But here's the thing, right? The reason he's not off their football team is because the dead cap is so high because he went in the playoffs, won the division, won the fucking Super Bowl, won all that shit. And the dead cap they'd carry because of the incentives he's earned already is why he's still on the Rams and not traded at this point.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he could have lost the Super Bowl that year and won it this year, and it would have still been a good contract. Is my point.
I guarantee it. But again, he would.
Which
he would,
means
the
just because you
incentives he
won
would
it
have
in year
hit then.
3 doesn't mean it was a bad deal. As long as you do within the confines of your guaranteed portion of the contract.
What's Green Rat complaining about?
Then it's worth it.
I don't know. He's saying you're not Culler, though.
I know. Again, the most irrelevant statement made tonight. Thank you, Green Rat. How you doing, buddy? Fins up. You can find Green Rat over
It's
lurking around Miami Dolphins content.
Green Rat is also known as Mystic's doppelganger. They're like
Mystic's doppelganger. Oh yeah, he does kind of sound like Mystic.
Yeah, they happen to be both from Iowa.
From Iowa too.
Culler, I hate to correct you because I don't want to be copyrighted here on YouTube. We legally can no longer say fins up. It's now go fins.
Oh, I can say fins up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I heard people are getting marked for it. Just to let you know.
Can't copyright a phrase. I could have meant.
I'm just making a mockery of it. That's all.
Oh, I know. I'm saying they can't tell how I was saying.
Probably can't put hashtag fins up in like the chat or something.
Well, they can't tell in my brain whether I was spelling it PH or with an F. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the part that gets me. You can't copyright the English language. How do you do that?
Green
you
Rat.
Might as well just say Dolphins up.
If you look in the top right-hand corner of that logo that's bouncing, that's my avatar, bro.
I find it funny, Green Rat in here asking where Culler's at, and you got green eyes. This is crazy.
I know, right? That's
What's up, Green Rat?
That's like me trying to put a patent on oranges and apples. You don't do that.
Let's move to the Calais Campbell thing,
it's
man.
Natural.
Okay, so before we do that, we're an hour in. Everybody hit the like button. You are watching the first time in a long time on Thursday night, late night commentary, where it all began for yours truly at the Fins tailgate. If you all remember, it is Thursday night, late night color commentary. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel and sharing it with everybody you know, so we can grow. See what I did there? Yeah, I know it's late. That's what you get with late night color commentary. So Calais Campbell, as you all know, is about to sign, if not already, with the Miami Dolphins. We don't have the details on the contract just yet, but I wanted to get everybody's opinion on it and give you a little information on Mr. Campbell and what we could expect and what we've basically purchased here. Okay, because a lot of people are concerned right off the bat with his age.
Yeah.
He's 37 years old.
He'll be 38.
Yeah, been in the league since 2008. The last time we won a division.
See, I'm okay with signing guys like this if it's like a 1-year deal, going into retirement style, cheap ass deal, kind of like what OBJ did.
Come here to retire.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm perfect with those kind of deals, but this deal is a steal, and I will tell you why. Now, I don't know the numbers, and that will be the key factor here, but I'm going to tell you straight up, Calais Campbell, even last year, he still got it, bro. That guy got stuff left in the tank.
Well, that's precisely what I was about to get into, Ali.
And if you're going to trade that, hold on, I'm just going to give you my take real quick. My take is that if you're going to try to transform this defense into that smash mouth, mean Ravens, or even Rex Ryan style defense, because our defensive coordinator is a Rex Ryan kind of guy, he's the guy to do it. Bring in Calais Campbell. He's going to help your youngins become that style and put that mentality into your defense. Let's do it.
So in the meantime,
he needs a clipboard.
The guy has been in the league since 2008. He has never played. I guess 1 year he played 13 games, but other than that, and another year, his first year in Baltimore, he started 12, played 12. But other than that, the guy has consistently completed every year, very few injuries, if any. And the numbers are pretty consistent. Now, when his first couple years in Jacksonville was the height of his career, He had 14.5 sacks and 10.5 sacks in 2 of the 3 years he was there. Consistently been around 6 to 8 to 10 sacks. His second year in Baltimore, he kind of slacked off with the sacks, but his combined tackles, his solos, his assists, his tackle for losses, all high numbers. Last year, he had 10 tackles for losses still, at 37 years old. 17 QB hits, 1 safety. This was last year. And you're looking at 56 combined tackles. That's about average for his career. 6.5 sacks. Played all 17 games. Now, and he's also got a fumble recovery last year. Now, the thing I'm saying is, yeah, he's older, but he's proven to be consistent still. So you can at least expect his average this year, and his average is not much different than what we just let go at the same position, Christian Wilkins. So number one, as far as Chris Grier goes, you have replaced the production at that position, at least for 1 year. And you've done it now for, I'm pretty sure is going to be quite a bit less money. What do you guys think?
So real quick, let's not gloss over the fact too. Aging player doing a little ring chasing, right? I mean, I'm sure there's other teams that whatever money he's going to take from the Dolphins.
And the guy is a hurricane. So you're talking about when number 15 is healthy and back on the field, you got 2 hurricanes going after Josh Allen.
And, no matter what he's got left in the tank, get the Dolphins in the playoffs and Calais Campbell isn't injured, and you're going to see a guy who knows how to handle it. Look, first of all, it's a bang-up signing. It's a guy that knows this scheme, knows the coach, and can help implement on a ground level terminology what needs to be done to make this work. Most important part, in the trenches for our new defensive coordinator, Weaver. So that is invaluable, and I guarantee you the money that he's going to get from the Dolphins, whatever it is not reflective of the value we're going to get out of that and that alone, much less what we're going to get out of him in production. And let's call it for what it is, right? We need that type of help early in the year, and that's going to be great. And I feel like we're getting a much better front rotation inside and outside on these trenches. And I'm feeling more comfortable. And when guys get healthy, I'm going to be super excited. I will say this, though. How long's this deal been done? How long's this agreeable terms been done? Because I don't think it just got done coincidentally. Because looky. To me, it simply points out that the Dolphins have probably had this done. Trevor Lawrence deal comes down the pike. Dolphin fans ready to pounce. Chris Grier, you're an idiot. They don't care what the money is or breaking down the numbers. What they see is what the internet and TV and articles and dumbasses tell them. $55 million a year until it's not gonna.
Cosa Nostra.
But hold on real quick. Let me land on it. Sure. where they are acting in such a way and not going to look into the numbers because it's $200 million guaranteed, but is it really $147 million at sign? We just tried to give you a little context of how they're doing shit now to not overreact to things. My point is that rather than have Dolphin fans continue to fester and go crazy, what are the Miami Dolphins and the genius Chris Grier does? He goes, guess what, though? We didn't sign to it yet, but look, Calais Campbell, a fan favorite. Calais Campbell coming at you. Bitch has probably been done for 3 weeks, and they've been holding this one in the chamber just in case.
Right, and case in point, Cosa Nostra says, who doesn't have goosebumps on our potential this year? Then your heart doesn't pump aqua and orange. And I usually don't, until closer to the season, I usually don't throw the pom-poms up. But it illustrates a point. Cosa Nostra, definitely a huge Tua fan. Him and I have gone at it, or they and I have gone at it. I've never asked Cosa Nostra what they are, but I'm perusing Twitter right now, and it's like Tua an ear, Tua hater. Everybody in between is really, really excited about this deal with Calais Campbell, man. I think Greer hit it out of the park.
Again, Steve in chat, shout out to the member and the homie. Shiny new toy distractions, and again, Chris Greer displaying a masterclass on how to be a general manager to avoid unnecessary pressures put from the outside to force the Dolphins in a deal that they don't want to have done. And I'm not saying they don't want to have a deal done with Tua, but if all was coming around the pike for immediately after and continuing, because it's going to be right, this Trevor Lawrence deal is going to get talked about and broken down in reference to what Tua is going to get, and it's going to be looked at as such. My point is that an amazing distraction to bide them time and slow the bleeding and prevent the overwhelming tidal wave of criticism by giving them a fucking gem, not just a hey, we signed the guy May, the safety, right? That they also released earlier before the Trevor Lawrence signing, that we cut somebody and then signed a depth.
We released a D lineman.
Yeah, we released a D lineman. And
I don't think it had, you know what? I don't think it had anything to do with moving.
There's no bearing on all that bullshit right now, bro.
To do with making room for
El Cap and Culler, real quick. So I understand what they're saying about this is a move to cover up some of the pressures that we really don't need and unnecessary and everything. I agree with that, but also let's actually talk about why we should be excited for this move for what it really is. These are the type of moves when you're adding that safety depth piece that we absolutely needed. That defensive lineman piece that really is going to make kind of a difference, not necessarily for the entirety of the season, but at least gives you that bolsters that defensive line. Hold on. Let me land on it real quick. These are the types of moves that contenders make. These are the exact same type of moves that the Eagles have been making for the past two seasons. The season that they made the Super Bowl, the season after. They signed these types of positions to bolster the depths that they didn't have for the long haul of the season. And the fact that we're doing it now means that, in my opinion, regardless of what people may think, I really think that we're all in this year.
We don't know the details yet, but even if we get the guy for $10 million, right? You're talking about effectively replacing one of these UDFAs that we brought in to test them on the D line with a guy that is at least in his career, in the twilight of his career, at least as good as what Christian Wilkins is producing. Now, the other thing is the 2 best years of Campbell's career, he produced up to 14 sacks. So there's still always that potential. And those 2 years were in Jacksonville. We're talking about weather that ain't much different than Miami in
100%.
We're talking about a guy that really has potential, to be like, oh, that's cool that we got that guy in the long run. So while I agree with the fact that it's eye candy and it's a distraction, it still is a distraction that can be productive.
Well, Culler, I want to go over.
We're not wrong to be, in other words, we're not wrong to be distracted by it. Plus, one other thing, as far as X's and O's go, bringing in that, even if he's just a depth piece, you're talking about a perennial Pro Bowler, All Pro. That's a depth piece.
Can't add a better depth piece than that.
And that is going to inherently, no matter who's taking snaps from the ball, no matter what team you're on, especially the way our defense is constructed when our guys get healthy, that can only give us more opportunities on offense.
Bro, do you guys realize that potentially we have with him healthy on the team, and if we get Chubb and Phillips back, virtually we have 2 full starting defensive lines that we could start at any moment.
Well, real quick,
with different people on the line.
Just to go over, because you know what, we knew that there was a lot of turnover on this defense. We were losing pieces. We were wondering, is this the year the Dolphins, have to take a step back because they're going to pay this or what? All this stuff, right?
Right.
But listen to what the Dolphins have added for Weaver, and I got to imagine in some way, he doesn't have the full checkbook because the money spent on these guys in totality is not as expensive as you want. But again, Chris Grier giving him groceries, giving him shopping, and here's the guys. We got Jordy Brooks, the linebacker. We got Jordan Poyer, the safety. Shaq Barrett on the edge. Jonathan Harris, the tackle. I don't know how to feel about that, but Neville Gallimore, another guy. I don't know how to feel about him either. But also Kendall Fuller, Anthony Walker Jr., and don't forget we drafted Chop Robinson and now Calais Campbell, all guys that are additions
coming
to the
together
defense.
with Phillips, Chubb,
Tier Tart, as you said as well. Ali. I mean,
those are some big names coming together on the same field, bro. That's a lot of big names.
Let's not forget about.
I understand that big names don't win you nothing, but dude, let's be real. That's a lot of good, hearty football names coming together in the same group for the Miami Dolphins this year.
All I'm saying is that it's gonna. We know this defense is gonna go through a transformation and a different philosophy and everything. And I think these were the guys to really put in place that they needed.
Right, it's going to be like shooting fish in a barrel for Weaver, man.
You know what? All of them have in common that I see too is that this is an approach the Dolphins don't want to take a step back at the defensive position in a 1 year sample size. These are all these guys, not just mature color. They've been in the league some time now. Say what you will about their production, this, that, and the third, or what we can project them to be production wise to what they are at the stage in their career. We also have guys that we've retained that are on the defense that we're leaning on too. Some are getting healthy. We're looking for Javon Holland to be something better. You know what I'm saying?
What do you get when you got like a bunch of guys that you bring in that are free agents and whatever, that all are about 4 to 8 year veterans, maybe a little longer, that have been on the brink wherever they've been? You got a whole bunch of hungry motherfuckers, dude.
You got leadership too. You got guys that are professionals, guys that are going to carry them as such. And
you got a whole bunch of mature adults that are hungry as fuck, man.
And when we're installing this new defense, they're going to get it. And the young guys are going to have a lot of help around them to get them up to speed as quick as possible. And this to me shows that the Dolphins want to roll into the season and not need time for the defense to get going like we did at the beginning of last season. At the end of last year, the defense did a great job, but in the beginning, let's not forget, man, they struggled early for the first couple of weeks. People were calling for Fangio's head. Dolphins don't want that. And I think this is a sound tactic because although they needed a new defensive coordinator and went to Weaver and now are changing a little bit of ideology, they really need to say to themselves, the way their offense comes out hot, their defense has to match. And they got to rack up as many wins in the front of the season to prevent late season blunders holding them back from success.
Especially given the strength of our schedule this year. But also, Cap, they're creating a situation on defense. The point about these guys being mature and all that is that for Weaver, it's pretty much a turn the keys, step on the gas, and go. You know what I mean? These guys are smart. These guys have been in the league a while.
Well, it is now.
What we're trying to do.
It very well.
We're trying to get after the damn quarterback, and we're trying to make tackles. That's what we're trying to do.
Listen, it very well may not have been that way because of us needing to get a lot of play from super young guys and leaning on young rookies, Mo Kamara, Chop Robinson, to really be thrown immediately into the fire and demand their production. Right now, the Dolphins have prevented, on paper now, this could change, that defensive end Calais Campbell and Shaq Barrett can carry the bulk while the young guys still kind of settle in on the edges. You know what I'm saying? This is it's a sound. Very well thought out. Again, Chris Greer crushing it.
Right. And then in the secondary, the guys in the secondary are also mature guys that have been around a while that know that not only are we trying to get after the quarterback and make tackles, but we're also trying to stop Josh Allen from bringing it to the edge of the freaking line of scrimmage and tossing a 45-yard strike to his tight end. You know what I mean? We're trying to stop that too. I think all these guys up and down our defense are squarely, firmly understanding what we're trying to do here already.
Well, I know come week 1, they're not going to be unprepared. That's what I believe.
Right.
I believe everything has shown me that they're going to come into week 1 and not look like a defense that, we're going to need some time. This language.
Bringing in a 14-year veteran who's still producing as much as the guy you just lost.
17th year.
That's a brilliant move, man. I'm sorry. That's just a brilliant move.
I think up and down, schematically chosen guys, while also being very conscious of we're changing ideologies. We don't have no time to waste.
Again, ultimately, when it comes to X's and O's, it buys your offense a couple more opportunities per game. It has to.
I agree. Crypto been extra quiet. Crypto. Oh, that's why he dropped off.
Connection issues.
Yeah, I think he's having some connectivity problems.
Yeah, I mean, I look, it's still got to happen. But again, we can only go by what we've seen. And when you're talking about a guy that's put 14 years together that are just about the same every year, why should I expect that all of a sudden in year 15 that he's going to fall off the face of the earth?
Nah, he's not. And I don't think that they're asking him to play all 17 games like he did in the prime of his career. They're asking him to come in here, get these young guys up to speed, hold it down early so we're not fucking dropping the ball, and help us put these young guys in good positions to succeed. And then hope when our guys, our other edge rushers come back, you can, take a snap down and we can have you come in there when it's, 3rd and long and we can send fucking.
Right. Or if we're
imagine the pass rushers we could put up there. If we're looking at a D line, listen to this shit. We're looking at a D line of from left to right. We've got Chubb, Sealer, Campbell, Phillips. You're fucked. Yeah. You're
Two
fucked.
Hurricanes.
You're fucked.
And the thing of it is, bro, is that even if you could take I know they don't like to think this way, but they have to. You could take let's say the shitty teams that we face, and fine, you put your weakest guys out there, get them up to speed. But when you gotta face, when you're in a must win, where you're playing a really good offensive line, you got that stack right there to throw at it.
Sorry, Culler. I didn't know my mic was on. My fucking dog thinks he's the fucking lap dog.
Chubb, Phillips, Calais Campbell, and Zach Seiler. I mean,
bro,
what's getting by us?
Well, it's not just what's getting by us, but and listen, if the offense does their job, and we can get out in front of some points, and listen, especially in that mid part of the season where games are getting tougher, if teams have figured you out, stuff like that. Because we know Mike McDaniel can put on a clinic of play calling against teams that really we should beat. We're not leaving that up to chance no more. And then teams we can compete with, we're putting something together too, and we're a better football team up and down. That's just a fact.
And there you go. Mark the Buffalo fan disapproves. So
of course he does. Good. Fire. To me, it's then, in those late of the year games, it's getting a little colder and your offense can't do what it needs to do, right? But they're doing enough. They're controlling the ball. They've gotten points on the board. They've kept you close in the game. And now you've put the team in situations where they got to make plays to tie or get out in front or win a game, and you're going to field a team that can pin their ears back and make you pay for allowing yourself to be in that position. And that's what that's what we're hopefully going to see.
Bro, you're going to see a situation in which the Dolphins defensive line, and I'm talking about from end to end, is going to be able to come in and stay fresh at all times, bro. Like I said, look at the names you have with those combination of guys for defensive ends and interior defensive linemen. You should be able to make 2 full starting defensive lines that can compete in this league, bro. I'm telling you, with Chop Robinson, with Kamara, with Seiler, with Calais Campbell, with Shaq Barrett, right? Even with Tier Tard and Gallimore and some of these guys, you should be able to swap every other down, be able to bring a whole new defensive line in and constantly stay fresh. It's going to be a real different defense. I'm telling you.
The real deal is how many combinations can you put together with play call designs to be effective? And that's going to be the hardest part. And having a bunch of veteran guys in the building is going to make that part go quicker over the year, because you're going to have plays and they're going to work and you're going to do things. You're going to shade over too far on the right and come in on a stunt move or something like that. Mm-hmm. And that's how you're going to get a man free rushing, all this stuff. So having that available to you, you got to, in mid-season, do something different, because teams are looking for it and prepared for it offensively. Like, hey, last time they did this, look out for that. So you gotta be able to pivot at some point to mix it up. To me, that's what made the Dolphins defense last year, because of injuries and because they were obviously well coached enough that guys came in and not only could come in to fill a role, but came in and had plays that they were designed to be successful in on defense, which is why we were so successful. It took some time installing. I just feel like now with the weapons that we've gotten, we're going to be able to install that and just be on a basic level week 1 with the talent of veterans to be okay, to allow ourselves a buffer time to start really installing that type of game plan for the fucking season. People got to understand the minutia of an entirety of a season on why my Dolphins scored 60 points this fucking week, and then 6 weeks later they're only averaging 14 points a game. It's because you've got caught, you got to pivot, and you got to do something. And when you don't, and you don't have other ways to lean on, you got to fucking figure it out. It's plain and simple, offensively, defensively. And I'm thinking, again, Mike McDaniel and Tua have things that they can go back on the years and call upon with the guys they have on the team. This is why I want to keep Tyreek for so much longer, because I don't think people understand. They're like, oh, the money, Tyreek, he's off the field. You guys don't understand why it's important to maintain cohesion, because of what other doors it opens. You influx new guys with talent that you want to then skill set them with packages designed, and then you want to bring in older cats to hold it down while you're making these adjustments, and you grow. It's a lot more, man. When you got a team that you know can get things done, the other teams find out and know that you can get it done and scheme a way to take it away. That's it. And you gotta fucking figure it out, man. And that's how you do it.
It's a beautiful day to be a Dolphins fan, let me tell you.
So far, I don't know. A lot of these Tua fans aren't going to be happy come tomorrow, because they're all high on the fucking on the Calais Campbell.
I didn't say it was a beautiful day for Tua fans. I said it's a beautiful day to be a Dolphins fan.
It's always a beautiful day.
That's the difference. It always is a beautiful day.
Hit the like button, everybody. We're at the hour and a half mark. And again, 2 biggest pieces of news today. Trevor Lawrence getting a deal and how that may affect contract negotiations with Tua and the Dolphins, if at all. And also, big news of the night, former Miami Hurricane Calais Campbell going to be signing a deal with the Miami Dolphins to play another year on his 14-year career to try to help us make a run on defense.
I thought he was heading into his 17th year, Culler.
2008 was his first year, so that'd be 10 to 18. Yeah, you're right. 16 years. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, going into his 17th year, yeah.
Yep. So dang. But he still seems to have tank in the gas. Last year was one of his better above average years for his averages. So doesn't miss games. Good solid, even if he's just depth, that's some pretty damn good depth.
So real quick, Culler, coming out across the wire, and this is terrible breaking news for the Dolphins personally, because the Chiefs got their Super Bowl rings, and on the inside they engraved the opponents that they beat them by. And not only did they put the Dolphins there as the first opponent that they beat, but they gave us the wrong seeding because we were the 6th seed, and it shows us as the 7th.
Oh my God. Terrible work.
Yep. Nasty work.
Wait, we weren't the 7th?
Yeah, no, wait a second. We were the 7th, weren't we?
Yeah, that's why we had to go there.
Let me see. Now I'm questioning this update, Culler.
Oh, they're going to have to put a reader context underneath it?
I don't know. Oh, is this a troll job? That would be great. Kevin Lee's saying we were the 6th. The Steelers were the 7th. That's true. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for the correction there.
That's right. That's why we had to go. That's right. So yes, we were the 6th seed, and that sucks. An embarrassment to the Dolphins. They took us down one more peg. Not only did we lose.
Do you think anyone calls them out for that, and they have to get it corrected?
Oh no! They're not. Whether or not they get it corrected or not, doesn't really matter, right? The damage is done. This is going everywhere. That's
funny.
The damage is done.
Everybody say hi to CB 41.5.
What's up, TD83?
The man with the master plan. The most positive all 22 in the Dolphins community.
Mark, you gotta check the first half of the show because that's all we talked about, baby.
All right. I know, right? Mark, late to the party as always. Wants us to start the whole show over for him.
That's because he's on that New Mexico time.
Oh, word.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
On the positive note, Mark, we got plenty of water over here for you if you want to come get a couple gallons. So, I think I'm going to start doing a Twitter mailbag on Thursday nights after we talk about whatever news there is, because I think the stuff is really hilarious.
Kind of like those "What in the World" takes we used to have, Culler.
Yeah. I figured out how to get them to stop piling onto you. You just tell them, what was it I told him that got him to stop? Dang, I can't even remember now. Oh, I know what it was. They said I was playing victim, right? Or something like CB83 always tells me. So I just I replied back, playing victim, I'm having a blast. And I never heard back from any of them.
Well, like, I got tagged in.
They're like, oh, this dude's trolling us. We better stop.
Somebody screenshot you telling them to go fuck themselves, I guess.
No, I told one guy, and that's the thing too. Here's the other way you get them to stop. You start quoting them. You don't reply to them. You start quoting all their nasty shit, and they'll stop. One guy actually complained to me or made fun of me, saying, man, all this guy does is quote. And that's when they stopped, because they realized that by quoting them, it puts their nasty shit on blast.
Yeah, they don't want that. They want to play victim and say you're look at this guy.
Replying to him lets them hide in the corners, and all their little friends that are considered good people in the community don't realize that they're pieces of shit. So when you start quoting them and all the nasty shit they say, they're like, oh, they stop immediately. I didn't hear from him the rest of the day. As soon as the one guy was like, all this guy does is quote. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to show everybody. And they quoted me saying the one thing okay, so me and TDR were joking around with each other. And some other guy that didn't know that we're on that level pipes in and calls me a flat earther.
Well, I didn't see. I didn't see that part.
Anything.
But I did get tagged in by somebody because I guess the guy screenshotted you saying "go fuck yourself."
That's what I'm getting to. So the guy called me a flat earther, and I'm like, all right, I've had enough. That's crossing the line, right? And so
Culler hates that shit.
To the new guy chiming in, I just said, hey, how about you go fuck yourself? And that's all I said. And they quoted that shit and ran with it like I'm such an evil person. Like all Tua haters are so evil. See, that's all they can do, right? And somebody had asked who I was, and Bill from Boynton had told him, hey, that's Culler from Finn's Tailgate. He's with Chris.
Yeah, and I piped in there. I said, yeah, that's my guy. That's my guy.
Like, that's the one thing I said all day that makes me look bad, is told one of them to go fuck themselves. But the reasoning for saying that is like you should see all the shit they post that doesn't get seen by people. That's why I started quoting them.
Culler, I just want to mark down, this is the 5th time I've heard the F word on this show after I said
it. Once you broke the ice,
I blame it on you, Ollie. You set the tone, you bastard.
No, but for real,
I get it. It was a vain attempt, but
Yeah. I think, personally, if they're worried about you saying F themselves, that's like between you and, people that truly know you, that's like rated G compared to some of the shit that you could have said.
I know, right?
I'm just being honest.
You're all like, why are you playing victim? I'm like, bro, I'm having a blast. What are you talking about?
So they're the quote then and to the response where I was like, yeah, that's my guy. And then it was like, a little explanation like, oh, that's this, that, and the third. They're not really pro Tua, blah, 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 and some other bullshit. And like Culler, will stand as firm. He can't be moved on his position. I was like, nah, not really. First of all, it ain't about pro or anti Tua. I hate that shit because I know it was pandering to them because I know that's how they roll. They're fucking all on the Tua train with looking to find people who don't agree with every bit of whatever bullshit comes out.
They're like the butcher from Gangs in New York. Whose man is this?
So they and I get that, right? That's fine. That's what keeps them going. I'm not opposed to it, but don't crawl in the lion's den, dog. Don't do that. Don't do that, bro.
Here's what started me in on it was that they're going after Steve Malloy now, right? And they always go after TD. And so what they're doing is they're looping those two guys in with the couple Tua haters that really do post some nasty shit. There's
plenty of them.
There's a guy named Antufa. Go figure.
I've seen him on there.
It always posts pictures of Tua with the crinkled hands, right?
Yeah.
And look, that is going too far. I get it. But the minute you disagree with them about Tua on anything, or if I point out that
it doesn't even have to, hold on, Culler. It don't have to be about Tua because that's not what this was with you.
That's what I'm saying. I was pointing out the fact that so many thousands of people follow these guys and think that they're upstanding citizens of the Dolphin community while they're posting memes of like really vile shit about TD and the other guy Steve, right? And I'm like, Okay, why is it again that you can post even the guy Antufa? He's posting a meme about Tua, and while it goes too far and it is in bad taste, he didn't clip the image of any Tua near and meme them like they do TD and this guy Steve, and that's all I was pointing out, right? So they immediately are like, okay, just like TD and Steve, who have never done that about Tua, they've never done anything that distasteful about Tua, but somehow we're all in this big clan. They like to make sure they use that word, okay? That you know are just as bad as the guys like Antufa and the other ones that post the really bad shit about Tua, right? So now we're all in that group. And I even asked him, I'm like, does that mean I get to be on some kind of list now? Being on lists. Put me on a list.
They came up with a new term. Antufa is the new anti-Tua people now.
Well, this one guy, Antufa, his name is, and he's like really vile. He does post some pretty vile shit about Tua, right? I get that. But they want to loop everybody in with those guys immediately. So I just fed right in. I'm like, fine, if you want to do that, then fine. You know, everybody's going to see it. So I started posting all their stupid contradictions and vile shit so that when they post the one breach of decorum that I made, which was telling the one dude to go fuck himself, that's the only thing anybody cares about. And we're all evil people over here and whatever else and need to be extricated from the fan base. Whatever. I think it's fun. I was having a great time.
But yeah,
I understand Twitter now, and it is fun.
It was I understand
That's
it.
Interesting.
Just
all the Tua niggas come up.
I broke rank a little.
They come with a name,
huh? Go fuck himself. I'm sorry.
Nah, fuck it. Who cares?
I should never be listened to again. And
Tua's way of fighting back.
Bush League people over here now. You know what I mean? Oh, fine. Whatever.
Well, here's the thing, Culler, and you kind of touched on it, right? Like they want to troll TD and hate all over him, and they feel that they're the opposing part of that, and that's cool, right? And all that stuff. To us, don't oppose us because we're not TD'd or the opposite of such. We're in the middle, bro. It might not seem like it because you don't know what fucking being in the middle is like. You're on a side, whether you're on that side or the other.
Right.
You don't understand what the middle really is, but that's what we are, right? We're the fucking middle. And we like to be the middle. And we bring both sides here to argue over such and try to keep it again at the middle. That's it.
I mean,
yeah. Again, here's the thing. And CB, I see CB in here trolling. He goes, middle. Here's the deal, bro. Plain and simple. When I say middle, when everyone's giving love in one direction, we're going to find a counterbalance. Whatever the mood is,
we're nothing but balanced over here at the tailgate.
You know what
we're
we are here?
But balanced. We're
you know what we are here? We're not fake. We're not putting on a facade. We're human beings that, guess what? Sometimes I'm in a good mood. Some days I'm in a bad mood. Some days I love Tua as much as the greatest Tua in here, and sometimes I hate him worse than the worst hater. So what? I'm human.
And you know what, Culler?
We're fair and balanced.
That's the one thing here at Finn's Tailgate. Not a single person here agrees with the other. You know what I mean? You guys could be all against Tua, and I might be propping him. I might be against paying him the money, but you guys are saying no, pay him the money. So
it's never unanimous over here. There's always there's always.
Which normally mean I'm the realest of the bunch. CB83. That's what that
and then
means.
there's the I don't think it's wise for them to pay him, but if they do, I ain't gonna go jump off a cliff. These people literally expect me to go jump off a cliff if we pay Tua. Like seriously.
That's what they want everybody to do.
Like look, I don't care if
the
Chris
apology
Greer runs his team off a cliff. I'm still gonna follow it.
No, we gotta sign.
I mean, I like driving off a cliff.
Apology letters are signed and notarized. So
they want me to. They want me to drive off the cliff while I'm waving my pom-poms like, woohoo, we just drove off a cliff. I mean, really. Like they always say, it ain't my money. And so if it ain't our money, then why do y'all care if it costs us more in the long run? So you can't have it both ways. This is the fallacy right here. Ali, crypto. Hey, it ain't your money. Why do you care so much? Okay, if we make him play on the 5th year and he balls out and we have to owe him more, it ain't your money. Who cares?
That's true. Look, I guess the only argument that you could have about the money is the fact that if you have to pay him even more, it's going to limit what you can do for future incoming players. Or players that you have to keep. So that's where it hurts. But any other, who cares comment, I get it. I get what you're saying.
Like, I mean, it's just incessant, bro. It's just, I don't understand why people follow that. Like, these dudes have like multiple thousands of followers on Twitter saying the most vile shit about people.
Yeah.
Over a football tape, over a quarterback.
Yeah.
What makes me laugh about it, to be honest, Culler, is the fact that these people actually think what they have to say, or what the things they do actually like matter.
Oh, I get
and what I mean by
saying.
that.
I get
and what I mean. No, hold on, Culler. See, what Twitter has done, it's given them a voice, basically, right? And people buy into this voice, like what they have to say is like it means something. And these people that are doing these things, right? They think like if their guy wins and gets the bag or whatever, it basically legitimizes them as being better than everyone else.
I think it's going to physically make them better, like we're paying a vending machine or something. You know what I mean?
It doesn't make you part of the team. Your team didn't win because your guy got paid. You know what I mean? That's dumb. Just be a fan and just have fun. And if you want to criticize your team, criticize your team. If you want to love your team, love your team.
Right. They want to say, ha ha, our guy got paid more than your guy. Like, so what?
Well, no,
I think that's what the race
but that's
is.
that's not what I'm.
Race that everybody wants.
That's not what I'm trying to say. It's like what I'm trying to say is that by their guy winning, yeah, it gives them that, but it legitimizes them. Like it basically makes think that their voice, that they have a power. Like they have a power. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
They don't have a power.
And
it doesn't matter if the team wins or lose. You don't have power over anyone.
And that's what makes them feel they have the license to treat and talk to people however they want on Twitter.
Why can't we just love and hate our team at the same time?
Here's where I think a lot of people are confusing what I'm actually saying. I am not a boomer. I am well aware how the internet works. I'm well aware how social media works. I'm well aware of the keyboard warrior phenomena. I get all that. Okay. What I don't understand is regular folk, okay, that are said to be respectable in this community, following those people. They don't have 5,000 followers for no reason. It's just the craziest thing to me that so many people are perfectly fine with the shit these people spew.
Yeah, but to be 100% honest, those 5,000 followers. Hold on, Culler. To be fair, though, and I'm not saying anything that they do or say is good, and I'm agreeing with you 100%. But to be fair about the 5,000 followers, they could have very well easily did what that other fool who tried to take over and get those type of followers.
I agree, Ali, but they're not all bots.
No. I'm not saying they're bots. Wait. I don't think you're understanding.
When you hover over somebody's name, it tells you a few of the people that follow them. I see some of the people that follow these people.
I'm not saying all of them are bots, but okay.
Matter of fact, the guy that was asking who I was and if I was new, with the thread Capitan was talking about, the guy that asked that question follows me already. Like, you can't make this up. If that ain't a clout chaser, I don't know. So you just followed somebody to get him to fit, and you don't even realize that you're asking somebody else who this guy is that you followed?
He probably liked one of your posts about another topic at another time.
Right, of course. Which means that I can't be as bad as they're making me out to be, Crypto.
Right, until you talk about the quarterback.
So why should I have to be told that I'm some sick fuck and be guilty by association because my opinion on one matter is the same? It's like saying, well, so-and-so had a dog and so-and-so committed the G word, but and Culler's got a dog too. I mean, come on, man. Again, I know that happens. The crazy thing to me is that so many people follow these jackasses. For instance, I pointed out the other a week or two ago how one of these people was wishing death on some of these Tua haters, right?
Right, yeah.
Well,
they went.
Come to find out, I didn't realize it, but this guy also happened to be the proprietor, the creator of Cuck Mountain. It's that account, right?
That's the account.
And I didn't even realize it. But do you notice you haven't seen much Cuck Mountain lately, have you? I wonder why that is.
He probably went into another handle.
No. The people that he wished death on weren't having none of it.
Right.
And the guy is likely blocked right now by Twitter.
Yeah.
Likely.
Yeah.
I haven't checked myself.
That could be. It could be. He could be had a temporary ban.
I mean, this guy's got thousands of followers. Everybody loves Cuck Mountain because he puts Chris Sims on it and Stephen A. Smith and whoever else.
Right.
But he also puts regular Dolphin fans on it. And he also wishes death on regular Dolphin fans.
If we give out a contract, does that mean we win extra games? Is that part of the incentives that we get? Like maybe an extra win or like a playoff berth or something? You know, like maybe if we sign them for $300 million, that assures us an extra win. Maybe that's the deal that
they literally think it's going to make him better. That money is going to make him better. This is a vending machine, Crypto, and if we put money into it, we're going to get the results.
Right. Yeah, vending machine.
Exactly. It's like it's along the same lines as what Ali was saying. It like legitimizes their point of view, their voice, and it also is what continues to make them think they have license to say the shit they say to people.
It makes their life matter, Color. That's basically what it comes down to. They got nothing else. They want to be heard and want to score millions to act like they knew something before anybody else. And that's not what's going to happen.
I'm trying to tell you guys on there. I'm trying to tell you guys. You guys out here acting like I never said it from day one.
The whole premise that I got receipts. Well, what does that fucking mean? Is there a rebate? Do I get $500,000?
Right.
What the heck is
the deal? TD, the reason they hate TD called them all cockroaches. Hey.
Yeah.
I just
and that was like 3-4 years ago almost.
The same difference.
When he used that term.
Well, I was going to say, I just told one of them to go fuck himself. The same difference.
Right. But yeah, it's been a minute when TD used that line, you know, and they still butthurt about that one. Damn.
I mean, for real, man.
My guy makes more than your guy. Nah, 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 nah.
And then they all
I
like
can hear it
chime in
now.
like a bunch of little lemmings. They're like caping up for each other. Like, who's this guy? Do I need to start attacking him verbally too? They don't even know what
Yep.
the conversation was half the time.
Right.
Oh, that's their MO. And the people, you know, when they'll say something like, "Oh, this guy's just like them and this is how they all operate." And people that say they like me, or you know, people that like follow me and shit, liking those comments. That's what's baffling to me, man. It's like, do you not realize this dude is like basically saying that because they pointed out that one of the people had made some borderline, arguably whatever, racial comments, right? So now I'm looped into that too. And we're all, and that's why they use the clan word. They're like, this is all a big Tua hater clan.
Oh
It's
my
like,
god!
really?
You know what I think is interesting is
All of this started because a friend of mine joked around and said that I thought Tua was benched for Skyler last year in the after the Green Bay game. And I told him, I said, thanks a lot. Now putting words into my mouth, now you're going to have a whole bunch of idiots pile on me all day. Thanks a lot. And we joked about it. I
About
basically
joking
said no
about the
bigs, it's
benching
a pain in the ass. You know what I mean?
because of two. What was
And
it?
sure
Two
enough,
Yeah.
what happened?
You know, Color. What was I gonna say in regards to? Oh man, I had the thought, Color, and I lost it. It was perfect for this conversation.
That's the
It'll come
right
back to me.
terminology, Black Sheep. That makes them two asexuals. Yeah, that's the actual true
So
definition.
one of their own was joking with me because we're friends, and they took it to like pile on me like with some vile shit. And the crazy thing is, the quote unquote friend didn't say nothing to him. Like, yo, ease up on this guy. He's cool.
Oh, that's exactly what I was about to say, Color.
Hmm.
So, what I think is funny is that other content creators in this community will make the same comments or to have the same take that you do about Tua, and everybody comes to their defense when somebody attacks them. But the moment you do it, no, we got to hate on you for it.
Yep.
I don't understand
Yeah,
how
everybody
that
goes
works out.
silent. Everybody goes silent.
Emmett is talking about.
Ali. Yo, hey, great
Mhm.
example. Great example. And I'm not going to
Yeah,
use names because I
and
respect the
I'm not
person.
even.
Well,
Yeah,
first, hold on.
I'm not even gonna throw the person out there because I respect that
Well,
person that we
right.
defend. I definitely do.
Again, I don't know if we're talking about the same incident, but remember, this other guy had made wishes of death upon some of the two detractors, right? Well, a day later, somebody else that we all respect in the community was getting pretty nasty things thrown their way because they weren't a fan of the Florida Panthers. And that's as far as I'll go. Y'all can figure out who it was if you want. It doesn't really matter who it was. That's why I don't need to bring the name in.
I know who you're talking about, but that's not who
Okay.
I was
And
referencing.
the entire community caped up for them. It was like, how dare you all? Because it was Panthers fans that were not anybody they knew, so they could felt licensed to pile on them for making threats like that to this other person. Yet, when it comes to Tua, those same people that follow those people will make will make wishes of death upon Dolphin fans, and nobody says one word. That is patrician and plebeian right there, ladies and gentlemen. I've been telling you since I've all known you, this world is still, but there is still only two types of people in this world: patricians and plebeians, and that's it. The patricians have the entire Dolphins community caping up for them when somebody wishes death on them. The plebeian has everybody support the people that are making wishes of death on people. That's the difference.
I had to share this comment because I agree with this comment. I'm sorry. Fuck the Bills.
Oh, I know. We got to do something about that Bills fake crowd noise. You're spot on about that. He's like, I'm here to cleanse it. All right, there we go. That's why we like you. If it's one thing two and ears are good for, it's going after fans of the other division opponents, you know.
And see, that's exactly what the Dolphin fans should be doing. Instead of fighting and attacking each other and wanting to make death threats upon each other. For what reason? Because even if you make the death threat, it doesn't do you any good. Well, there's no winning in it.
Well, Ali, here's the irony. Here's the irony. I had a couple Bills fans follow me today on Twitter because I was being attacked and going back after two and ears today.
I mean, for me, it's just like,
had nothing to do with being Dolphin fans or Bills fans. They're just like, yeah, dude.
Well, let me just put it this way. I just want to land with this. Why don't you take that energy and hate, put it to good use to something that matters? Show up on game days to make sure it's a home game no matter what.
Yeah.
And use it towards the other opponents.
Like the Vikings game, Ali, where we're sitting in a bunch of purple all day, right? Remember that game?
And they're chanting skull.
Yeah.
It's Jose from
Where
Canada?
were all the two and ears that day?
Or the Dallas fans. I can't tell you how many Dallas fans I had on the home side.
How many two and ears were throwing their rally flags on the ground when we lost to Tennessee?
None of them.
This is true.
Probably.
I mean, you remember Ali? Or was it the Buffalo night? It doesn't matter.
No, I'm pretty sure it was the Tennessee night because I tried to get one of those
and we couldn't get them. They had already passed them all out by the time we got to the entrance, right? Well, how many did I end up with? Like 3 of them, right?
Yeah, and you gave me one. I appreciate
I was picking
that.
them up off the ground after we lost that game. But I'm called a fake Dolphin fan. Where are all these little two and ears to go hold those people accountable for throwing their rally flags on the ground? Call me a patriot, but throwing a flag on the ground means something to me.
Well, they left out the stadium because couldn't get a first down.
Not saying I blame them for doing it. I'm just saying.
Couldn't move the ball 10 yards.
Where are all the little ants that come out of the woodworks to pile on them?
Yeah. We couldn't move the ball 39 feet. That's the problem.
And I wonder how many people that threw their rally flag on the ground are two and ears. How many of them people were wearing number 1 on their shirt?
Yeah.
I would have loved to have filmed it. So spare me the, who is this guy? Like, who the hell do these people think they are? They literally think Twitter is the only universe.
Yeah, I know. They think Twitter is it.
So it's helped me grow a thicker
Twitter's
skin.
like
I understand now why everybody's like, yo,
the
have fun with it. Yeah, I'm absolutely having a blast now. I think this shit's hilarious. And I'm going to start mining it. I'm going to start making it a segment on my shows every week. The X mailbag of hate. We're going to do it just like every other show host does. It's so easy. It's like low-hanging fruit.
Yeah. You should.
Yeah, they make videos of other YouTubers.
Wait till I start showing you the comments, some of these comments in the context of them. Wait till I start showing them to you all on my show. It's going to be fun.
And that's what I'm talking about, Culler. Snippet whatever the tweets are.
Oh, yeah.
Post it up here.
We're going to go, forget snipping it. We're going to go through it together. We're going to share my freaking screen and go through my Twitter feed together. That way I'm not calling any specific person out. It just happens as it happens publicly.
No, but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I'm not talking about just the hate that comes at you. Show the hate that comes at other fans
Oh
that's
yeah, oh yeah,
unjustified as well.
oh yeah,
That's why I was saying flip it.
and before we bring our next team member up, I'm gonna say, Ali, that the reason I want to do it like that is so that I might even be able to ask the audience how I should respond. Like when I see a real vile comment, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be like, what do y'all think I should say to this? And just let the audience respond for me. That'll be really fun. Because then the other person on Twitter won't even know that like 200 people are helping me answer them. You know what I mean? That'd be freaking awesome. How's it going, KP?
Yeah. What's up, KP?
I'm still showing you on mute if you're having any issues with the mic.
He's trying to navigate those.
Well, we'll get him in a minute.
Those whitewater rafting down there in
fellas, what's
downtown
going on,
Miami.
man?
What's up, KP? Did you happen to
Hey,
come up
hey.
to make a comment on what I'm talking about, or did you have
You
some
whitewater rafting
Well,
down there in
no.
downtown?
I mean,
on
I agree. There's a lot of group ganging up type stuff that happens on Twitter. It's pretty much a cesspool of
It's literally like
human
being in high school again.
sociology.
Cesspool of America.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When things get rolling, and people lose themselves somewhat. People
I'm
don't like
guilty of
hearing
it too.
opposing points
I'm
of view.
guilty of
That's
it too.
fine.
Yeah.
I like
try to be
commenting on a bunch of
reactive. I don't
YouTube
try to
shorts.
just
That's
go
the one to
after
be getting
people.
me.
You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I've always been a contrarian. I always like going against the grain.
well,
And
I might do that.
Mhm.
But what I'm saying is like the personal shit. Like,
Yeah.
I'll react personally when somebody says something to me, but I'm not out there like proactively, calling people
Looking to
stupid
antagonize
and,
people. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, a
Yeah.
flat earther, bro? Really? A flat earther?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I
Like, how
throughout
do
my
you
life,
even
I've always
answer that when somebody's convinced that you're a flat earther? What can
right.
you even say to them? It shuts
Yeah.
down the whole debate right there.
Color. The thing is that they probably don't even know what a
Pretty
flat
much.
earther really is, or what the
That's
whole
what I'm saying,
thing
Ali.
is.
They immediately shut down the debate with that and think they've won it.
Mhm.
It's just like the people that want to call us haters. They don't even know what the
Oh.
definition of haters are.
Well, you
A
said
hater
now
is
that
somebody.
you said on the space that
Everybody's a
there was a
hater.
gateway
Hold
to
on,
flat
hold on.
earthers.
The English
When
definition
hit
of
the
a
moon
hater is
landing.
the English definition of a hater is exactly when somebody continues to hate on somebody, no matter if they overcome any deficiency. It doesn't matter what they do.
Right.
They could be the best of the best, and they still hate on them. That's a
And
true
Ali,
definition of
that's
him.
code. That's the code they use. Like, again, when I say I was being looped in with everybody, they refer to everybody that they've looped in as the haters. Like, it's a group of people that are all considered haters.
Mhm.
The slightest misstep in your language about
The
Tua,
other,
and you're a hater.
the
Good.
other thing is,
I hope so, because
what
guess
is the
what?
newest?
You know what? I haven't done this in a long time, and since Thursday nights, late night color commentary is where it all began from here at the Finn's Tailgate. I'm going to bring back an old tradition. Okay. I don't want to mince words. I don't want people to play with my language and whatever else to their own advantage to call me a hater. If you want the clip, I'm going to give it to you right now. You ready? Tua is trash. Clip it. Please do.
Mm.
Spread it all over the internet. And everybody that knows me and everybody that watches this show and has been following me and watching me for 3 years knows exactly what I'm doing right now by saying that. So I don't care.
Right.
Clip it. You don't have to bait me. You don't have to play word games to get me to say something that you want me to say.
Yeah.
It means nothing. Tua is trash. You don't have to play with me anymore. You can just clip that and share it all over the internet. Culler just said that. And then,
even though Culler just said that.
One more thing, KP.
Mm-hmm.
One more thing, KP.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're done clipping that and spreading it all over the internet, then you can call your lawyer and sue me. Go ahead, KP.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, the irony of all of this is that in reality, I'm sure when Culler is being less provocative, right? He would agree with you that Tua is good. No, just like in the little fracas I got into the other day, they tried to make it seem like I was saying Tua was horrible and trash, and I kept on correcting them and saying, no, he's improved all 4 years. He's good. But my point generally on Tua is that as an organization, we can't let good become the enemy of potential greatness, and we cannot bog ourselves down and tie ourselves to a guy who's not going to take us to the promised land. Right. And that's despite all the improvements that he's made throughout his career. I just don't think as a total package that, he is going to be the guy that takes us across that line. That doesn't mean I'm bashing him or killing him or hating him, which speaks to this conversation tonight.
And I guarantee you, if Tua is watching right now, okay, I guarantee you he's intelligent enough to know what I'm doing right now and probably laughing his ass off.
That's true. That is definitely true. Culler, here's a big example.
He's far more intelligent than his sycophants. Okay, bet that, because if his sycophants were as intelligent as Tua, they would be in his position.
I just want to piggyback off of what KP just said, right? People like to call him a hater and, and say things about what his takes are on Tua, just because he doesn't just want our quarterback to be good. He wants our quarterback to be great and be the definition of greatness. A proof of that is when we broke down the schedule during Broken Takes. So I went game to game and we made our predictions. I would have bet money prior to that KP was going to give us an 8-8 or a losing record. But lo and behold, him and I were tied at 11-6, right, KP?
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
You can't tell me that our quarterback is trash if we're going to have an 11-6 record.
Yeah. What did I talk myself into, Ali? 14 wins.
14 wins, 14-3.
I'm doing that without a good quarterback?
Yeah, there's no fucking way. And that was our realistic takes. And that's basically what I'm going with it.
But that would require them to have a moniker of intelligence to go watch our shows, Ali, before they open their mouth. You know what I mean? Shout out to Chef Jews in the building. How's it going? The ambassador of the Dolphins community, and y'all know it. Give a shout out to Chef Jew. Check out his catering company. I don't have the flyer up on my particular brand right at the moment, but make sure you check out Chef Jew in the greater South Florida area for all your catering needs.
Peace to Chef Jew. I didn't want to change this subject.
Real quick, KB. AB says Tua is not watching. Oh, I'm sure he's not. But that just feeds into the point of, why do you all care what I say about him then?
He probably does tune in at night just to get laughs, just to get some laughs.
Either he's listening and he's laughing, okay, or he's not listening, and why do you care?
No. If I was him, I'd be tuning in every night with a big bag of popcorn, just laughing my ass off and counting my millions. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Pure comedy.
Said I was trash. He knows exactly where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he knows his own fans. I'm pretty sure of it.
Have you guys already discussed the Marshawn Lynch clip going around with the parents, the helicopter parents?
I thought it was a clip from like last year, wasn't it, KP?
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, he's coaching a youth league, and the parents, the mothers, I guess of a couple of people are upset with the way he's coaching, and
I think there might be some movement on whatever. If there was any lawsuit, there might be some movement on it. But the story has been was reported.
Oh, it's an old clip. Okay, you're talking about the one where he's pulled some kids or told them to run laps or something, and the moms are just tearing into him. You know,
I saw the clip last year sometime where the
Okay.
mother is pitching him out, but I didn't. The clip that's new, I think, is him explaining himself.
Yeah, and then he might have got himself into trouble there because he's asking for. He's like, is there a man that I can speak to? Is there a man I could speak to? So feminists aren't going to like that at all.
Oh yeah.
And he's trying to explain that in football, if you make a mistake, I'm going to make you run laps. I might make you do push-ups.
Although these days, KP, the feminists are pumping the brakes a little because they're realizing they're starting to be the first against the wall club. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a change in attitude.
They're like, whoa, what have we done?
Before we get into the political side, KP, what is your take on the Calais Campbell signing? How do you feel about it?
I like it. I've always liked Calais Campbell and what he brings to the table as a defender, a multiple defender, inside and out. He can, back in his better years, he could do both. In this installation of Calais Campbell at the end of his career, I think he'll slot into the Christian Wilkins role. Definitely not a nose tackle, but somebody that you can stack.
Uh-oh. Mid-sentence, they got him. Look at that.
Yeah, did we lose him?
Yep. Well, everybody's going to have to hit the like button to get KP to come back. That's the only thing that'll do it.
That's what happened, man. Those two nears, they went and canceled KP off the show. Damn.
I know, right? But that just goes to show you again with his take, that everybody's liking this move. To an ear and to a hater alike, and everybody in between, which is where most of us are at, by the way.
And Sheffield, I'm with you. I love this signing too.
80,000 people we see in the stadium every week are just somewhere in the middle. Sure, they chant MVP when the guy's making great plays, and they boo him when he's not. Or they go silent when he's not, and throw their rally flags on the ground.
Yeah. Hey, there was a video I saw with Anthony Walker Jr. Wearing the Dolphins uniform. Not gonna lie, man, the guy looks really fresh in that uniform.
Yeah.
I think our team's gonna be good this year, bro.
Defense is just, again,
on the defensive side is what I'm talking about.
Is gonna warn us to stop with the paper talk. I get it, but you know what I mean? Like, how can we not? You gotta love what we're doing on D.
Oh yeah, KP. Sorry, Ali, I got cut off.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah, with Calais Campbell, I was trying to explain it. Yeah, I definitely like the move. He's been one of my favorite Canes of later years. I know he's old, a little bit old, long in the tooth, but I think he slots somewhere in our defensive line rotation. Him being a little bit older would, bring a little bit of caution about his health. He definitely can't play, all snaps, right? But in a rotational role, I think he can be very effective. He's the type of veteran who will bring a lot to the room, especially a room with young guys like our first round draft pick Chop, who just signed this week, and Kamara. So he'll be able to, definitely be a source of wisdom for those guys as they develop their young careers. So I like the move. As long as he stays healthy, I think he'll help the team.
Yeah, my take
and that's
is
the thing. The guy hasn't. He has shown so far in all 16 years, pretty much, that he can stay healthy.
So, he has been a warrior.
I think he still has some bit in the tank, and I think he's going to be exactly what we need him to be. And the deal, I think overall, is a good deal for the team, because really, if you're going to transform this defense into that Ravens or even Rex Ryan style of defense, he's the kind of guy you want to have in the locker room off the get-go to kind of set the mentality going forward. Even if he's here just for a year, setting up that mentality for the next year and the next year after, it starts with him, and I think that's definitely a good signing overall.
You trying to get in your crypto?
What'd you say?
Were you trying to get in? I thought you were trying to get in for a second.
No.
All right.
Well, I'd say this about Campbell. Physically, he's always the physical aspect of his game has never been in question. You know, even as a younger guy, he had great acceleration, explosion, and speed, despite also having like super imposing range and size. He's a long-limbed, big guy. The thing that hurt him was like a Raekwon Davis type of thing, where he was almost a little bit too big. So questions of leverage and stuff like that used to be the knock on him a little bit when he was younger. But he is, his career has shown that he's a guy who doesn't let his height get the best of him, and he's a warrior. His game is very physical. Okay, he's by no means a finesse guy. So he's a guy whose stats haven't just jumped off the page. He hasn't been a statistical demon per se, but he's been a productive defensive lineman his entire career.
Right. As I had mentioned earlier, KP, that the statistical anomaly was in his first 2 years with Jacksonville. He had 14.5 sacks the first year and 10.5 the second year.
Right.
So that's kind of the midpoint of his career. That was the big highlight. But every other year has been consistently where he was at, even last year. Like last year, he performed above his own average, even though, it wasn't like, those years, but it was still, you're talking almost spitting image production of what we lost in Christian Wilkins at the very least. With the potential, again, we're wondering, well, Christian Wilkins will probably get over his 10 eventually, maybe, but Calais Campbell has done it twice. So we know he has the capability of it, even if he doesn't have enough left in the tank to do that.
I say Wilkins is probably gonna get more than 10 this year. Finally, he'll get above it.
Well, that's possible.
Yeah. Managing his snaps, making sure he's in a rotation is going to be key.
Because who's on the other side of him? I think Wilkins is going to be to have a better year.
All around solid move.
It's us.
What's that, Crypto?
Not just say I hope he don't have that 6-sack performance day against us and wreck our season.
Oh, I ain't worried about it. If it happens, it happens. It's typical for us. But I think still, all around solid signing. The Jags, a lot of people could argue, got a steal with Trevor Lawrence tonight. We're moving on past the 2-hour mark. I'm going to go ahead and call it quits for the night. It's been another great episode, long time coming, of late night color commentary on Thursday nights. I'm probably going to try to do this like on the regular again on Thursdays. It seems to be the time when I have the most energy to do it. That's why I started doing it at this time to begin with. So everybody hit the like button. Make sure you're hitting comments below. We always try to read them. I probably slack, but after the show is done, tell us what you think about the Calais Campbell deal. Tell us how you think the Trevor deal may affect what we do with Tua or don't do with Tua. And make sure you're liking and sharing. Subscribe to the channel. Hit up TFTGnetwork.com for all your TFTG gear. Big thank you.
Can I plug real quick?
Yeah. I was going to give you guys a final thought and thank you all for joining me tonight and giving your opinions. Go ahead, Ali.
Well, make sure you do hit like and subscribe and check out TFTGnetwork.com. But one thing I'll say is that Broken Takes will be back coming up this week. We'll be talking a lot of stuff. My vacation's coming into an end. So I'll be back at it once a week, Broken Takes, and then we can get once a week late night color commentary. It'd be awesome, Color.
Good deal.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Ali. And I'm also still crunching the numbers for the second annual top 25 quarterback production and, of course, the top 25 wide receiver production from last year, 2023. And we'll be able to see clearly just who produced what for their team and how that relates to their wide receivers and all that. So, KP, you got anything left?
Well, yeah, I'm sorry I missed most of the show, and I'm kind of unaware of what you guys talked about overall on those subjects. But I was curious to know what you guys think about that Trevor Lawrence deal, on whether it increases the chances of Tua and his camp getting what they want, or whether this moves against the likelihood of Tua getting what he wants and forcing him to make a few concessions on his demands. Yeah.
Personally, I think it increases, even if it's a slight chance. I think it increases the chance that he plays on the 5th-year option. But if that's still off the table, then I would say that it squarely puts him somewhere right between the two guys that have just signed. Now, if we're waiting on them to get Jordan Love done to see what happens, then as Cap for Life keeps pointing out, we're dealing with the same agent there. So, Athletes First might be in a situation now where they're, working against their own interest. So there's that too.
I mean, for me, to be honest, I don't think it's going to change very much, to be honest. If anything, it kind of helps the Dolphins if that he would take a deal similar to this. But when in retrospective to Lawrence and the Jaguars, I think the Jaguars got a hell of a deal and Lawrence kind of screwed himself. I made the comment that he didn't bet on himself. Crypto says that he did because he knows he can meet all the incentives. Well, if he knows that he can make all the incentives, my opinion was the fact that he should have bet on himself because he should have asked for more. He has a playoff win, and that's the one knock that Tua doesn't have, but that's just my opinion.
All right, Crypto, what's your final thought on that? Sorry, I had to mute you because you were getting some feedback there.
Guess. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Or is it still feedback? All right. I think now it just adds more questions to whether or not it will get done in the first place. Because now, if you're waiting for every single person to add their numbers into the quote unquote marketplace, now we got a brand new set of numbers freshly off the press that's been entered to make said market. Now, if you're waiting on another person, then what if that number goes down because of these two people, or quote unquote, is now a part of the market? So let's say hypothetically, if Jordan Love gets less, I don't think he will. Well, let's just use this. If Jordan Love was to get somewhere near in between Baker Mayfield's numbers and Trevor Lawrence's number, now you just decrease the overall
average of the market, right?
Exactly. So now this argument that the market is the market, are you going to stand by now because the averages just went down?
Right.
You know, because you're adding new data points to the market.
And here's the thing. They want to start immediately talking about Trevor Lawrence's skill level and accomplishments and whatever else. But remember, the whole point of them saying the market is the market was that it didn't matter if the guy's a franchise guy, he's supposed to set the market and get the top money over the last guy. It's his turn, right?
Right.
Why does that only apply to Tua?
Right.
The Jaguars have identified their guy, whether you agree with them or not, that he's that good. They think he is. So if the market is the market, he should have been the top guy.
He should have been their
investment.
Because if it's the arms race that they're saying it's inevitably is, then to your point, Culler, he should have gotten
what he did as long as they've identified him as their guy.
Right. He should have gotten more nuclear bombs added to his silos.
So you can talk about, he hasn't done this or that, and Tua is better than him. That wasn't the point. Remember, the market's the market.
Yeah, well, you just offended me, Crypto, with that comment, Crypto.
Hold on. A franchise quarterback
I'm just kidding.
makes X amount of money.
No,
Yeah,
KP, I've been using the Russia versus the United States as a parallel
analogy.
to this whole arms race. Yeah, analogy.
Well, I'm just saying you offended me, man, because we got this Russian nuclear sub poking about these waters now. Got me scared to go fishing.
I know, right?
You know, I don't want to hook into any Ruskies.
I'll say again, and I'm going to use their words.
Yeah.
A franchise guy makes X amount of dollars in the NFL.
KP, are you trying to say it's a hunt for Red October?
Yeah, I'm starting to think along those lines, Ali, man. Got me looking for that periscope.
Well, Ali, 60 miles off the coast. How far is the Bahamas off the coast? I mean, that ain't much farther.
I think it's 90 miles or something, somewhere around there.
Yeah, they're right at the line. It's not,
Well, I'll say this much. The Dolphins need to take the Ronald Reagan approach and de-escalate. Go watch the movie the day after and de-escalate. That's my whole argument. This whole matter.
And Q,
take the Reagan approach.
And Q, what Crypto is trying to say is, by Trevor getting that deal, which was lower than Goff, depending on where Jordan Love lands, it could create a situation where the average now has dropped for the franchise quarterback market. So when they talk about the market as the market, that's based on averages, right? I mean,
exactly.
Crypto.
I know you're trying to get off. I know you're trying to close the show, but isn't it interesting
not as
how
long
the
as
goalposts keep on shifting?
Hold on, KV. Not as long as Cap for Life is going to be throwing us the ducats. Thank you, Cap, for the $10 donation. Who says Jordan Love, by passing his fifth-year option, played last season for $15 million. Love is gonna ask for the bank. Oh, by the way, Jordan Love is also represented by Athletes First. Very, very interesting. Yeah, that's what I pointed out that about Athletes First.
I'm just saying, I don't think he will get low. I'm saying hypothetically, this whole thing that the market inevitably goes up. Markets do.
But hold on, Crypto, though, you mentioned that you want to use the Ronald Reagan analogy. Well, I'm going to use that Ronald Reagan analogy and tell you that we want this Cold War to end up being a nuclear holocaust with Tua throwing nukes into the end zone every game. So, yeah, please bring on the nukes.
We'll take that as long as the Lombardi comes out at the end.
Exactly.
No, the nuclear
definitely
is there.
Man, that was dark.
As long as that nuclear in the water.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make it dark, but I'm being honest. Like, I wanted to be throwing those bombs into the end zone in touchdowns. That's all I want.
We now have rebranded the NFL as Star Wars.
I just remember the last time the Russians were bringing some military stuff over to that part of the world. It wasn't looking good for a second.
The word crisis was used.
Yeah,
it was a crisis.
Well, that's what the Buffalo Bills are going to be advertising when Tua starts throwing nukes into their end zone.
Yeah, man,
it's a crisis.
Pouring a bunch of waste off of Florida coast. Yeah, only we're allowed to do that.
Oh man.
They scrubbed the Starlink launch tonight. They were going to test the booster again. This booster apparently has already been used like 15 times. That's amazing. So, Q, I think it's probably fair if Tua is willing to get a deal a little better than Trevor's. But I think that when it comes down to like incentives protecting us from injury, it's probably going to look like a Jared Goff deal structured in a way that is more like the Trevor Lawrence deal. That's kind of what I'm now expecting. You know what I mean? I know that is kind of That's kind of just a logical
say
thing
stick
that
to
it really doesn't
player.
have any meat to it. But you know what I mean? It's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, it's going to be like Jared Goff money with a Trevor Lawrence structure, if he's willing to sign that. And that's really the
I'm saying
question.
for like 3 years structure, like Geno Smith, but with a guarantee, like Waddle guarantee, but very short, like Geno Smith. I'm saying it's a cross between Geno Smith and Deshaun Watson. That's my take.
Wow. All right. Well, unless you guys got anything else at the
3
last
years
minute,
of 130 million, fully guaranteed. That's it.
I'd like to officially say go Fins.
Uh-oh. Well, I'm going to unofficially say fins up.
A last word, man. There's a great shark movie called Under Paris on Netflix. Check it out this weekend. Under Paris, the next great shark movie. Yeah, it's
my wife is a huge fan of shark movies. Is it really good?
I got to check that out.
Oh, by the way, KP, are you taking advantage of the fish NATO going on down there, man? People are just bagging up fish right in the middle of the street, man.
Yeah, right off the damn sidewalk.
60 seconds. It was one on 62nd Street, KP. There was somebody bagging some big of 60.
Yeah, it looks like he scooped up a mackerel too.
Totally unfair. I bought a boat. I go down to the Keys. I do all this fishing, and these people are just bagging them right in the middle of the street, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Home delivery. Home special delivery, just like mail.
Did you see the video of the 3 guys in the canoe, and the one dude had the fishing pole off the front? They're sitting in the middle of the intersection, holding on to the median sign.
Yeah. Hey, if we get a repeat of the last 2 days tomorrow, we are in big trouble.
Well, that's what they're saying. It's supposed to rain till tomorrow evening or something. I think it actually pulled out a little early. It seems quiet now.
Yeah, it's very quiet tonight. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I even saw the sun at sundown, man.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens, man. But the ponding effect is happening. Like there's water. There's no more water leaking down anymore. It's pooling up everywhere. So
I know, right?
Another good soaking in, and we'll be in the flooding zone. So
fortunately, they've done some stuff up here because we've got a lot of room to spare in our canals up here, man. We're doing all right.
I forgot to mention. You mentioned the sun real quick, Culler. Here in New Jersey, along the boardwalk, I watched the sunset. Oh my god, bro! The sun was such an orange, like a highlighter orange. It was so bright. I'd never seen it that orange before. But
check it out. Look
I have
at
a
the
great
moon.
picture.
To that point, Ali, look at the moon right now. It's like real orange now.
Is it really?
By the way,
that? Yeah, look at the moon right now. It's crazy. It's like dark orange, like a horror movie.
Fun fact, Ali, on that point.
What moon?
What you were looking at was not actually the sun.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Fun fact: if that was the sun you were looking at, your eyes would be burned out. What you're actually looking at sundown is a reflection of the earth, because the sun has already set and it's beaming the light off the earth and reflecting a silhouette of what looks to us as a big orange sun falling below the horizon. But that's already happened. And what we're looking at is a reflection of the earth.
And with that, everyone, have a great night. This was Professor Culler's take. Good night.
Yep, everybody have a great night. Yeah. Join us tomorrow. I think Shake is probably going to be doing the drive time in the evening. So join us for that. Keep a lookout. Keep your notification bell hit.
Keep a lookout for the live edition of Insomnia. We're talking about the history of the Houston franchises with the Texans and the Giants.
Cool. And when's that dropping?
We're dropping it next week.
Next week? All right.
I think Tuesday or Wednesday morning. Somewhere around there.
And of course, I'm sure in the meantime, you'll find Capitan probably around Saturday night or Sunday. We're going to continue to be talking about this latest news, eagerly awaiting any other news that might be coming from the Tua Dolphins negotiations. So on that note, everybody have a great night. We actually made it in under 3 hours. I don't know how we did that, but go Fins,
Go Fins,
go Color, go late night color commentary. Join us again. Remember, hit your notification bell so you know when I do it. So have a great night, everybody. Fins up.
go.